Who is he? Who say his name one more time?
Mbappe.
Who is he in the NBA today?
Luka Doncic.
I was gonna say Luka. I was gonna say Luka because he seemed like the type of dude where he just buckets and he do a lot of other stuff, but primarily he's buckets.
Yeah, I mean, some say he's the best in the world already, and he's just turned 24. So
okay, so he a kid. I got you.
How good can he be?
Sometimes some are saying top 10 all time. Like that's where he will probably end up going down. So.
Damn.
Sometimes these bots have funny names. I'm just
low down. What up?
What up?
Down and dirty. Let's get it.
All right, y'all. I'm not gonna waste anybody else's time. Y'all know the drill. We're gonna get straight into it. Last show was so good, and we still in the holiday mood where we're gonna run this show again on Super Chat. So I'm gonna get out y'all way. Y'all send y'all Super Chats through. I'm gonna do my best to read them all, and we're gonna get around to all you guys' topics. Y'all, how was Christmas? How was everybody's holidays?
Food and basketball, yo. Food and basketball. That's all it was for me. I'm straight.
Food, basketball, and a little bit of football. A little bit of football. The games weren't that good, but a little bit of football.
I was doing a lot of traveling, so I never really get the time to actually watch that much basketball on a day of Christmas. I travel in between my father and mother side of the family, so I don't really get that much time.
Okay. Marz, what you do on that side of the pond?
Mine was exactly the same. Mine was the exact same. Food, basketball. I mean, today was my football, but everything Christmas was just food and basketball for me.
Okay. Big Ox Bob, what was under the tree, man?
I've been hosting the holidays lately, so I had to, a little food, a lot of cleaning, a lot of beer.
And y'all get an invite? Mm-hmm.
No.
All right, Bob. Bob. We see how it is.
No invite at all.
I'm all the way in California, so.
Okay.
What's that mean?
But
get on flights?
Flights.
Airline shut down.
Yeah, flights been grounded for about a week.
They actually have low-key.
Yeah, I just got back to Portland today. Man, but the roads haven't been too nice either.
Yeah, and for everybody wondering what's going on with Ticket, me and him are still in a dispute right now. We're not really on good terms or anything like that.
About what?
But Ticket. He and so
never mind.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that because Ticket might call me during the show, and then I'll just Yeah, I'm just gonna stop right now. But anyways, the Brooklyn Nets have hit their stride. You guys have see the title, and you guys know they are the hottest team in the association right now. 9 straight wins. They're number 3 in the Eastern Conference. My man XV is stunner. X is stunner. XV is stunner. He sent a super chat. He said Brooklyn contenders.
15 is tuna.
15 is tuna. 15 is tuna. The Brooklyn Nets are contenders, 13-1 in the last 14 games. We're gonna start with this. How are we feeling?
Let me start with Chill. That's his team right there.
Oh, it's my team. You already know how I feel about Brooklyn. I'm out. I've been out, and I'm still out.
You're staying out?
I'm out. I'm out on Brooklyn.
You still want them off your TV?
I'm out on Brooklyn, and I know exactly what you guys are seeing. I see what you see with KD. I just want to put this on your mind, guys. December 27th, 2023. I'm sorry, 2022. The Brooklyn Nets are 23-9. There was a stretch where KD, I believe he was going 60, 40, 90 at one point, and he was rolling. I want you to rewind the clock back to this day, 2022, December 27th. The Brooklyn Nets, 22-10. That was good enough for second place in the East. KD had a 15-game stretch last year where he went 57, 55, and 80. So what I'm seeing right now is no different than what I seen last year. This crew got together, and they got together for one reason and one reason only, and that's to win it. If you guys are trying to sell me that KD is here to sell a bunch of stats and to look great, we could have stayed in Oklahoma City for that. The reason why he got on in Golden State, because that was a better situation for him. He didn't come to Brooklyn just for stats. They came to Brooklyn to win it. And what I've seen over the last 3 years, I've seen injuries, and I've seen underperformances when it mattered the most. So what I'm seeing right now, I'm not impressed. And the reason why I'm not impressed, because I've seen it already. Now, I know Ben Simmons actually looks pretty good with this crew, and they put him in the dunker spot. Not only do they put him in the dunker spot, they put him at the high post when teams are playing zone. The problem that we having with Ben Simmons is the same problem that we having with Joe Harris. We can't hide these dudes during the playoffs. Not only can we not hide these dudes during the playoffs, they're going to get exposed. And they're going to get exposed to a point where it's going to be a huge problem. We already know Curry's deficiencies defensively, and they're doing a good job at hiding him. But Royce O'Neal looks good. I'm not going to fight that. Ben Simmons is actually playing better than what he did when the season started. All of these guys got together for one reason and one reason only, and that was to win it. What I'm seeing right now, I'm not impressed with it. Until you show it to me when it matters the most, I'm out.
Wow.
I don't know. Personally speaking, I mean, their defensively what's moving me a little bit. They're top 10 in defense now. A large part has to do with Ben Simmons and Claxton.
Mm-hmm.
It does scare me down the stretch of games how comfortable teams feel double teaming Kyrie and Durant down the stretch.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, I don't know if that's gonna, that may not work in their favor. But at the end of the day, 13-1 in the last 14. Not only is Simmons and Claxton looking really good, Kyrie is back. He's looking much better. The three-point shot that was a little bit wavering in the beginning part of the year, that's looking much better. Durant is having arguably the greatest mid-range shooting season of all time because the way he's just knocking him down is absurd. The Joe Harris. Yeah, Joe Harris and Seth Curry are a bit redundant. I wish they would just go out there and get an actual wing. TJ Warren come in, he's looking much better as well. But I'm not saying I'm sold on them to win, but before the season began, I had them in the second tier. And for me right now, I think they're in the top tier alongside Milwaukee, alongside Boston, and Philly. For me, I think they're in a contention spot. Clearly.
I had them in the 6th spot before the season started. That's where I had them at.
Don't look like they're gonna reach that. And also, to be fair to them, in the beginning of this stretch, I thought it was really just a lot of mediocre teams beating Cleveland, beating Milwaukee, especially in the fashion in which they did so.
Yeah.
They also beat Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't remember. Somebody didn't play in that Toronto game.
OG didn't play.
OG didn't play, yeah. But they've beaten. It's not like they've beaten a bunch of just bad teams, some of which have been bad, like Charlotte and Detroit, of course. But they've also beaten quality units as well. They're going to continue to up the difficulty in schedule. But if they continue to win these games, it's kind of hard for me not to look at them and say no, this is a legit team.
Right.
Big Ox, how you feeling about this 9-game win streak and winning 13 of the last 14 games?
I mean, no doubt it's impressive. You can't take that away from them. But I'm still on the same train I was at the beginning of the season, as far as I don't think they're big enough down there to win, to win deep in the playoffs. They could get to a second round. I don't know. I can't call exactly where they'll go in the playoffs, but I'm disappointed that they didn't sign Dwight early. Maybe they still can. I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure they will at some point sign another big, but until they do that, I'm still not sold. But I mean, it's impressive though. You can't take away the wins that they've gotten so far in this stretch.
Ant Talk Hoops chimed in. He said the Nets will win a championship this year.
Winning it.
Stop hating, Chilltown.
Winning it. No, we ain't going that far. We're not winning it. Because again,
listen,
go ahead, Tom.
No, I was just gonna say, look, coming into the season, you it's very well documented. I thought KD was gonna take a bit of a step back. What I expected from KD was one of two things: putting up numbers like LeBron is on a losing team, or putting up numbers that are lower than expected on a losing team. I expected them to be in the play-in, and that's what I expected. Everybody's healthy. Jacques Vaughn seems to be making a difference. I'm not putting all the blame on Nash, but when they're healthy, we've already said that team is talented enough offensively to be really, really good in the East. Right. It's a matter of, can they play any defense? Right now, they're playing some defense, and that's why they're winning games, because their offensive's there. Everybody's starting to kind of fill into their roles. Jacques Vaughn is doing a good job coaching. Kevin Durant is actually playing way better than I expected on a winning team. So that's great, and we got to give them their credit. They're playing amazing this stretch. They're third in the East. No one expected them, I think, to be that high except for Nets fans. If they can replicate this now in the playoffs, that's the question. I'm starting to think they can, but I need to see a little bit more. It is still end of December or January. So, but if they play like this, can they beat the Bucks and the Celtics? Yeah, we know that they can. So in a 7-game series, anything's possible.
Do we know that though, Tom? Do we know that they can beat them?
The way the Bucks playing recently, I don't know.
The way the Bucks is playing, make no mistake about it, Lo. The skill set with KD is still there. That's never a question. Same thing with Kyrie Irving, which is ironic because Kyrie Irving has been healthy. Not only has Kyrie Irving been healthy, he's been less problematic than he's been in the past. So that's helping, right? You don't hear him talking to the media nearly as much. You don't hear a lot of nonsense going on with him. The idea with Kevin Durant, we all know that he's still got the goods. He's just on the other side of who he used to be. He's still that dude. The problem is that we haven't on the interior, their ability to rebound. What they do is they mask gang rebound. They mask their inefficiency at the rim because KD is probably their best rim protector. So they mask that with gang rebounding, just like Portland does. Now, that's going to get exposed in the playoffs when you play against bigger teams like Milwaukee, when you play against bigger teams like Philadelphia, when you play against bigger teams like Boston.
You know they're going to add a big. You know that they're going to add a big.
Right.
I'm 1,000% positive they will add a big to help.
Who can they add?
Who? Yeah.
I don't know who.
I know they can trade, but they can still make a trade.
Because Bob talking about Dwight Howard, I can appreciate that logic. I don't know if Dwight Howard is the ansor for them.
Who can they add?
It'll be a smaller move, right? They'll probably move. I wouldn't be surprised if they move off of Seth. And look for a big. Again, it's not going to be a dude that's going to be it's not going to be a big name. But it's going to be one of those guys we love, Chill. One of those dirty work, under the radar role players that'll come in and play that role of, hey, do nothing else.
Like Drummond, even though Steve Nash wasn't using him the way he should have used him.
I don't know that Drummond's that guy, but it'll be someone along, probably even a step down from Drummond in terms of name cachet, but it'll be a dirty work type of, it's going to be like a Bobby Portis where you don't think it's going to be Thad Young. It's going to be like one of those guys you don't think of that's just going to come in and grab those boards, timely possessions. That's be like, oh, wow, he did nothing statistically, but he did the stuff that they needed done. That's what they need to do. If they don't do that, I'm less confident.
The Drummond name is a stomach.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not Drummond. It's not Drummond. It's not that guy.
We got Rashawn Holmes on the bench out in sack, for the right price.
And I love Rashawn Holmes, but hold on, Lo. The problem Steve Nash had last year with Drummond can't make free throws, number one. Not only can Drummond not make free throws,
he's in
Chicago.
Yeah, he's in Chicago.
He's in Chicago. Not only can he not make free throws, but I think Steve Nash was yanking him in and out of the line. Because Steve Nash was yanking him in and out of the lineup, he couldn't really be as effective as he could be. And I think somebody like him is exactly what they needed. Somebody, a dirty work guy, a glass cleaner, a guy that can man the paint. Somebody like that. Now, is Andre Drummond an all-league defender? No. Is he a glass cleaner? Yes. Is he something like what they need? Absolutely he is.
Is he a defensive liability? Yes.
Is he a defense? But that's a bunch of them though, Lo. That's not just Andre Drummond.
I know what I'm saying is like if the question they need size without a doubt. I'm not denying that. I just think that it's hard to find size without giving up too much defensive liability, because just getting a rebounder for the sake of getting a rebounder, I think is a bit easier said than done. I don't know. I also look at like other teams, and Middleton is still mid. He's not.
Yo, Marz. I would love to hear from you on the Brooklyn Nets, how you feel about them and whether they have convinced you that they can possibly make a championship run. Also, everybody keeps asking in the chat, where's Ticket? I told Ticket in order for him to come back up here, he got to take that do-rag off. So we'll see. Go ahead, Marz.
Oh my God.
Ever since the Nets got rid of Steve Nash, I've been giving them more of a chance because I knew they had no shot with Steve Nash. I was saying that since they got Steve Nash. So them getting rid of him, like, I look to them as a new team. They've looked great. I don't think they're going to win a championship. I think they're the fourth best team in the East. I think Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly are the teams I take over them. But I think if they made a run in the playoffs and got to the conference finals, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be flabbergasted if they beat Boston in the series, if they beat Milwaukee, if they beat Philly. But those are teams I take over them. KD looks like the best scorer in the world this season. Absolutely insane. His defense has stepped up astronomically. His playmaking seems to be better, but I'm going to wait to the playoffs to see how that looks. But me saying KD wasn't a top 5 player in the world, he's looking like one right now.
You might
But
have to retract that, Mars. Is that what you're trying to say, Mars? You might have to come
I
off that.
I don't have him
No,
in my
you were
top 5.
wrong. You were
I don't
wrong.
have him in my top 5, but he's looking like a top 5 player right now.
Well,
So
he's still not a top 5
having
player?
that, he's not in my top 5.
Who's top?
Yeah.
Are you still got Curry in your top 5? Even though he's out.
Yes, because he's still a top 5 player in the world.
Mm.
But if you want me to take out injured players, AD comes out, Steph comes out, KD gets in, but that's not how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, KD's like, to me, he's not a top 5 player, but he's been playing great. The Nets have been playing great. I don't think they can beat Philly in a series simply because I don't know what you do with Embiid when you're Brooklyn. It's the matchups there isn't great. James Harden looks like a very good NBA player again. The criticism he was getting, I mean, it was justified. He wasn't good in the playoffs last year.
Lo, you can look like that all you want, but you leaving out one thing. Because I can see the look on your face, but the one thing you leaving out that's on that bench, don't leave out what's on that bench over there.
Who? Which bench?
On the Philadelphia bench. Please don't leave that out, Lo, because I see your eyes getting big when you think about Embiid, when you think about James Harden. But there is one thing on that bench over there that they still have.
I hope we're saying the same thing.
That's the only reason I'm not totally sold on Philly, because I had them going to the finals, but
I'm 100% sure we're thinking about the same thing.
We know who's leading that team.
But we also know the same thing with Milwaukee.
No,
I said that about Coach
Bud
as well. I said the same thing about Bud, and I'm still not in on Milwaukee. I still don't think they're good enough.
Bud is treating Giannis like he's like Jason Kidd. Like, yo, have him as a role man. And I know Middleton, he's still mid. It's still Chris mid. You know what I'm saying? But still.
He took 5 threes yesterday. 5 of them.
Milwaukee, I'm not buying this. Their offense just isn't good enough. Like, I'm just watching them. I don't think you can win with the way they run an offense, and it's all on Coach Bud to me. I said that prior to the season. I'm saying it now.
Having Giannis with the basketball in the past in transition worked. The problem is having Giannis with the basketball in the half court running the offense. That's not going to work. No,
it's
that's not going to work.
Doing it, and I don't know why they persist with it. And the fact that Giannis' jump shot isn't even falling this year like it was last year, that makes it even worse. And the half court offense just looks atrocious, and I'm not buying that in the playoffs at all.
I'm giving him a break because of Middleton injury, but it is still mid Middleton. He needs a post up though, like in general, he just needs to post up more. He should not be operating at the top of the key with shooting threes like that. That is just terrible.
Hey, Marz, and speaking of the Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant, it seems like he replied to something you had going on, a video. He said, we got to cut some of these guys' mics. They're saying anything now.
That's a Zion take, right?
Yeah. That's where I said Zion wasn't a top 30 player.
So is he still not a top 30?
I said on the other show that, I was wrong about that. I've said I was wrong about that about a million
times. So where's he at now, though, Marz?
Like 22.
And because of that, does Kevin Durant drop on your list?
No, I don't think I'm a biased guy. Like, if KD's allowed to disagree with me, I mean, I disagree with myself. I think the take was wrong. I've said I think it was wrong.
Right.
But come playoff time, if Zion proves me wrong once again, then he can elevate into the top 20. I just don't think he will. So he's just outside the top 20 right now.
If you've never been wrong on a take, you've never tried. Like, I appreciate Marz doing that. I appreciate you, Marz.
All right, so
that's Lowe's problem. He always thinks he's right.
I know that I'm right.
According to Dub, that's your problem. Fluent.
That's Fluent's problem that he always thinks that he's right.
According to Dub.
No,
according to Dub, really? The Dub says the only thing that's wrong with you, Fluent, is that you think that you're right all the time.
Isn't that Dub's problem though?
Please don't make me. Please don't make me. I was nice on Christmas Day. I was nice on Christmas Day. Please don't make me dress that here. I was saving it for Thursday.
All right, for sure. Hey, Lo, that's like that Spider-Man meme where it's Fluent and Dub pointing at each other, both calling each other right all the time.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna read some of these super chats.
Yep.
You guys make sure to send us some topics. I want you guys to send us some good topics, some things that you want us to talk about, and also too, if you want to address somebody specifically, be sure to go ahead and throw their name in that. My man Louis is down. Shout out to my dog Louis. If you guys are hip to our footy show, Marz is the star, Louis is the co-star. It's really kind of like a Jordan Pippen type of thing between them. But anyhow. He said, Ron said, watch this and got a diamond tester. I definitely didn't do that to Ticket. I'd never do that to him.
Shout out Ticket.
Ticket TV. Ticket. That's my man. Yo.
TMF Willie said the chocolate god is here. Cavs will bounce back.
Will they?
I believe so.
They need another shot creator in the front court. Everybody in the front court is just dependent on both Garland and
No, Lo, that's not the problem.
They need Isaac Okoro to not be a negative offensive.
That's number one. That's absolutely number one, Marz. Number two, Evan Mobley needs to get better offensively. That's the problem. He's the same dude he was last year. The exact same dude.
Who did you think the Cavs were going to be?
To me, second round. That's what I'm seeing. Second round.
Okay, and they're in the 4th seed. They're going to have right now. Mm-hmm. They're the 4th seed. They're going to host a playoff series. If they learned anything last year, they might squeak into the 2nd round and lose. That's who they are.
I thought they were. I'm not overrating them, Tone. Hold on for a second. I'm not overrating them. I thought that with getting Donovan Mitchell, I thought that they would be a top 5 seed in the East. I thought that he solidified them as a top 5 seed in the East, no doubt. I thought that they were still a year away from challenging for the Eastern Conference. So a semifinals appearance, I had that too. That's fine. My issue, Tone, is Evan Mobley not taking a step forward. This is year 2. We need to see some improvement.
No, a lot of the rookies have developed. I mean, Scotty Barnes is going through the same thing.
Yeah, I think big men take. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the second year kind of jump. I don't expect that from big guys. They take longer to develop.
Wait a minute though, Tone. I'm not asking you to go from 15 to 22. I'm not asking you to do that. But what I am asking you to do is show some improvement. I'm seeing the same thing last year that I'm seeing the same thing this year that I seen last year from him. He's the same guy offensively. There doesn't seem to be anything different from him. Defensively, he looks like he's taken a bit of a jump. He looks like he's gotten smarter. However, offensively, that mid-range is still what it was last year. His ability to put the ball on the floor, it still looks sloppy.
Might in transition. Not things he worked on in the offseason. And
that's a problem.
And he's not surprising anybody this year. So there is a thing as a sophomore slump. We see it all the time. And I don't think he's having a sophomore slump. But I think if you're saying he's around the same offensively and a little bit better defensively, I'm good. I'm good with that for a year 2 big man. I'm okay with that.
I am too.
I'm big on Evan Mobley. I
love Evan Mobley. Bob, make no mistake about it, Bob. I love Evan Mobley. All right. When I saw him, I'm thinking I had him as rookie of the year last year, and with him being that, I'm thinking that he's an integral part of what they're trying to do, and he needs to get better if they're going to take the next step, as opposed to we need to look for another. No, we don't. We got the guy. That's the biggest problem that I've always had from a lot of these people, where you guys looking for a quick fix. Demand that these dudes get better, man. Stop letting them off the hook with trading them. Stop letting them off the hook with bringing guys in. Demand that these guys get better. That's what happened to Bam. That's why Bam is playing the way he's been playing. Demand that these guys get better. Stop letting them off the hook with, we're going to ship this dude out next year because that's not good enough.
No, stick with him. But, I think it's also something to be said that they also added Donovan Mitchell. So
that's what I'm saying.
Right. So chill. If we look into the future,
go ahead, Bob.
If we look into the future and see Evan Mobley taking those steps that you're requiring right now, will that put the Cavs into a contention position?
Hell yeah, I think so. Because Evan Mobley, when I watch him, he looked like he could be a better version of Chris Bosh to me. That's what he looks like. And the defense is obviously there. Once his offense catches up to that, and not just catches up to that, it catches up to it where when it's moving forward, they're both moving forward at the same pace and he's getting better. Yeah. I think he could be the difference in pushing them over the top, because it's obvious that Darius Garland is their franchise point guard. They brought in Donovan Mitchell to be that wing scorer that they didn't have to solidify them as a top 5 seed. Now, the only difference now, we already got Jared Allen as their rim protector. So they straight right there, right? Okoro, I think Marz, unfortunately, we might have to move off of him, because I think what are we in year 3 now?
2019 draft.
Okay, so we in year 4. We in year 4, and I had him as like a Sean Marion type, like a transition player, a D&3 guy who could really help you, but he hasn't really given them much. Evan Mobley is the difference here. If Evan Mobley can take that step where he could be an 18 and 11 guy, he's the difference, and it could be a really legit contender in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I
agree.
All right, y'all. Moving along, Unapologetic Network chimed in with the super chat. He said, "Sorry to bring back the Harden and AI debate.
No,
But
you ain't. You're not
for
sorry.
Harden,
No, you're
definitely not sorry. But for Harden, name another time when a player was expected to beat 3 of the top 12 players in their prime to win a ring. Dirk was the only one close, but KD wasn't in his prime.
So is he calling Steph, KD, and LeBron all top 12 players? That's what he's saying right now.
3 top 12 players in their prime. So name a player. Did he say name a player who was expected to beat 3 top 12 players in their prime? Isaiah Thomas. He had to beat Magic, Bird, and Jordan.
But was he expected to?
Yeah, the Detroit.
I don't know, but was he
absolutely?
Would people have clowned him for losing?
But he did it though. So I mean, what is it?
The Detroit.
Harden is being criticized for losing to those teams. I guess that's what he's getting at. Isaiah did it, so he gets the praise. But if he lost to those guys, would people be like, "Well, Isaiah's really not that good"? Like, is that?
That's exactly what they would be saying, Marz. In fact, not only would they be saying that, that's what we say anyway. When you lose to teams, that's the standard, especially when you're trying to get to the championship. If you consistently losing to these people and you want us to talk about you like we talk about them, and you consistently losing to them, that doesn't work. Those two things just don't match up.
Especially with those numbers that Isaiah Thomas putting up. Them numbers.
Isaiah still barely gets the love he deserves.
He don't. I think he doesn't get it because of
his top 3, top 4 point guard.
Is he?
A lot of for most people, I'd assume.
For you?
No, but for most people,
exactly. I knew it.
Hey, Lo, you better not start that nonsense about Isaiah Thomas. You better not.
Why?
Not start.
I was going to say that most people probably don't because I mean, he kind of didn't really beat all 3, but I mean, it is what it is. You know.
What do you mean he kind of didn't beat all 3? He did beat all 3 of them.
I mean, Magic was hurt. So
Magic was hurt.
Okay,
that's correct.
So he didn't really beat.
That's not my problem though.
Okay.
That's a you problem. Exactly. I was able to hold up. You didn't. That's a you problem. That ain't a problem.
But hold on, no. What year was that? We're in the finals. Isaiah was hurt too.
I get that.
In 88,
still didn't technically beat him though. He didn't technically beat him.
They got cheated. If we really want to talk about it, they got cheated. But that's neither here nor there. James Harden, on the other hand, I mean, Marz, you just said it. If you look back at James Harden and what he did in Houston, like he had Dwight Howard, who was still in his prime when he got him, and he took him to the Western Conference Championship.
Was he?
Yeah, 2013.
He was being criticized for what was going on.
I know you say his age-wise, maybe he was prime, but I feel like there was no prime Dwight Howard after Orlando.
Yeah,
I don't feel like he was
still a good player.
He wasn't the same dude. Athletically, sure, up here has always been his issue.
His defense absolutely was not the same.
And he and James Harden just didn't get along because Dwight liked with Steve Nash.
Well, who gets along with James Harden? Has anyone gotten along with James Harden? That's my issue with James Harden.
Strippers.
Oh, wow.
I don't think people are really.
Hey Bob, does he not keep the glasses full and the dough flowing? Does he not do that? He makes sure that you got that. Make sure that your glass is full and make sure that you got a pocket full of bread. He makes sure that's going on.
He the life of the party, no doubt.
Yes, he is.
But he still got to the conference finals with him. It's not as if like they failed. I wouldn't say that even that stage was a failure. They got to the conference finals. They lost to the Warriors. So is that a failure?
Like, is our only issue with Harden his team's lack of success?
No, I think the only issue is that people are hypersensitive on the moments that they believe translated to the lack of success. I think that's the problem. However, I think the issue that many other people have is that those moments also exist in other players' careers, such as Iverson, but because he just played in a weaker conference, so we can all agree there. He played in a conference that made it suitable to where, he played in a conference to where even if he had bad moments, he was still able to get to the next round. That's to where we're like, okay, if that's y'all argument, I don't get it. I did further research, and that conference was dog shit. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell y'all, but that conference was terrible. That was
the Western Conference was better. I won't fight that. This is the logic that it was garbage. I mean,
it was garbage.
I'm having a really difficult time with the logic that it's garbage.
There's middle ground that Lowe can't seem to stand on.
I'll be in the middle ground. That conference was not in the middle ground. That was definitely low tier, peak level trash. My goodness, garbanzo beans.
Garbanzo beans. I like that.
Every metric imaginable when I was looking at it was like, man, this is a really bad conference that he played in. Well, this is bad, about as bad as I thought it was. And
Marl Lixon Marlaxin, I don't know how to pronounce your name, bro, but appreciate you for tapping in. He said, can we talk about y'all hate for KD? Then he also said, why do y'all hate the Nets so much? What is going on?
It's only one person up here. No.
Talk to this dude right here, the dude in the white, in the white shirt. Talk to him.
No, it's one person. It might be two. I don't hate the Nets.
Talk to this dude right here.
I don't hate the Nets at all.
Mm-hmm.
My hate for KD, I don't hate KD. I'm realistic about KD. I'm realistic about who KD is, and I'm realistic about what he's going to look like to fans in 20 years. And you guys who haven't been, no offense, I don't know if Marlaxin is even 20 years old, but I'm telling you, when you look back in 20 years on KD, it'll be the same way we look back at other people 20 years from now. And what will they say? Great offensive player. Only won those rings because he joined a super team with 73 wins. That's what they're going to say. They're going to talk about him better than the way they talk about, like I've said this before, about Dominique, about George Gervin. Great offensively, questionable defense. Only has those 2 rings because look what he did at OKC, nothing. Look what he did in Brooklyn, nothing.
Well, he didn't do nothing. Don't say he did nothing.
No, we got what you're saying.
Okay. You get what I'm saying? It's not that he did do nothing. I'm telling you the way they're going to look back on him in 20 years. That's going to be the narrative. Right. If he doesn't take a Nets in a deep playoff run, they're going to say he couldn't get it done with OKC and he jumped ship to the best damn team to win 2 easy rings. And then his body didn't hold up, got hurt, lost to the damn team up north, then went to Brooklyn to do it on his own and didn't. So that's why this playoff run is going to matter a lot, and couldn't get to the playoffs. He was hurt, lost in the first round, played shit. Like, unless he does something, that's going to be the narrative in 20 years. Now, is it true? No. Is it fair? No. But that's what's going to happen.
That's my point, though, Tone. Is it going to be that much context with KD 20 years down the line, 25 years down the line? Or are people just going to look? Because when I think about, guys who won the NBA championship today, right? I don't think people don't really talk that much about the Lakers being a super team in the 1980s, and they had a bomb squad with Magic and James Worthy.
That wasn't a term we used back then. It was a term that was just developed in the last 10 years, so now it will become part of every narrative because now it has started. Did you ever say super team in the 80s and 90s?
Never said that, not one time.
Did you say it in the early 2000s when you had two of the top 3 best players in the league together? Did you call the Lakers a super team?
I did not.
Okay, fine. 2 of the top 5 players. You didn't say it because it's a new term. So now I think it follows the players. And just think about you yourself when we talk about Stockton. Well, why don't we talk about Stockton? Just the last show, you guys said, well, because he didn't win a chip. So he didn't win a chip. Well, KD's chips were with the Warriors.
I think people will do that.
That's going to be the false narrative. Again, I'm not saying it's real. I'm just telling you how people will look back and say it. Yeah. That's all.
I think people.
If KD doesn't get one with the Nets, they're definitely going to say that about him.
You're going to say it.
I know I'm going to say it. I'm saying it already.
Steph has won 2 without him, so they're not going to say Steph couldn't do it because he did it twice without him. Once before and once after, and he went to the finals multiple times without him. So his legacy is cool. KD's, I just think is, again, it's not hate. It's just I know the way because I've seen it happen before. You're a history major, Jay. You know this. You know history repeats itself. It's going to repeat, and that's going to be the narrative. I don't say I'm agreeing. Just saying that's what's going to happen.
Also, I want to be clear. A lot of things that I'll be saying as well is not even indirect. It's not even directed to the players. It's directed to the people who speak about the players. So when you speak highly of Durant, especially when you are putting him over players like Giannis, or you put him over players like Curry, and you put him over players like whoever else you put him ahead of. If when it's time to actually perform and play, he does not produce at that level, then by default you overrated him. So the criticism that comes towards it really isn't levied towards KD. I did not think that they were going to beat the Boston Celtics anyway. But for the people out there who thought that they were going to beat the Boston Celtics, why, even though they have defensive problems, depth problems, not enough playmaking, not enough continuity, why were they going to beat him? Oh, yeah, because KD, he's just that good. He's that skilled. It's going to work. So
and Kyrie Irving, too.
Kyrie Irving too. So you put that much onus on those 2 players, and then when it doesn't work out, don't tell me that it's hating them when you put that expectations on those players. I ain't never put that much expectation on KD in my life. Y'all did.
So you can't put it on any player. Yeah, no really player wins. No
It's
player
none.
wins alone.
'Cause y'all
None.
do that to LeBron all the time. And then when LeBron doesn't win, you then get upset to why people are bashing him and hold him to such a high standard. Why are you saying this? Because literally all throughout the season, you sat there and said they're going to make a deep postseason run because of LeBron, or when LeBron and AD are healthy, there's no team that can beat. Y'all say that all the time. And then they get healthy, they play, and they were still below 500 before AD got hurt. So then what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Fluent, I can't wait for 30 years from now for everybody to look back and say, "Oh my God, Kevin Durant played against TikTokers and podcasters."
And you know what? And you know what?
I'm telling you.
And you know what? It's gonna be the guys today who are defending it
Watch.
and saying the same and saying, "I told you so." No,
Watch.
you didn't. You liar. You saying
Watch.
that exactly.
Damian Lillard was playing against rappers and sound scans dudes, and
Right.
you're gonna want to choke this dude.
Sound scan dudes. is
Sound
crazy,
scan
man.
studio rap. That's what you're gonna want to do. And you know how nice Damian Lillard is because you've seen him, right?
Yeah, but he lost to a bunch of podcasters. Get
That's
that
what he
shit
did.
out.
That's what he did. He lost to a bunch of dudes who were just man, just like they're gonna say. I already said this about. They're gonna say the same thing about Kobe Bryant. Watch. Yo, this dude was better than Kobe Bryant, and you seen Kobe Bryant. You're gonna want to choke the life out of these people.
Yeah,
I'm telling
I'm
you.
not tolerating that.
No.
All right, y'all. Slime Jenkins chimed in. He said, "Damn, Ron, do-rag discrimination? Hell yeah, take that shit off."
Oh my God.
But hoodies are fine.
Hey, yes, of course.
If Marz wasn't letting that slide at all.
Marz, if Marz came on without the hood, I'd be like, Marz, what you doing? Go
Who
with
is
the
that
hood.
dude? I mean, who is
Yeah.
that dude?
That's part of
Wait,
that's
time
part
out,
of the
time out.
show.
Is that the same one, or you have like a rotation of different?
I have
ones?
a rotate. I do 5
Him
shows a
looking
week.
over
I
is
have a
fire.
rotation of 5 hoodies that I wear.
He's counting them. They're hanging there.
but they're all the same color.
No.
No, he's got the gray
this
one.
I got a couple black ones. I got
Right.
a gray one.
He's like
I got a
Steve
couple red.
Jobs. Steve Jobs had like 75 black
also
t-shirts and black
gray,
jeans.
I
He wore the
What's
I'm
that?
just
What's
used to
that
seeing
cartoon?
Marz. I'm used to seeing Marz with this one on.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
this is
That's
the
what I be
go-to.
like.
This is the go-to.
The go.
What's that cartoon? Is that
Whenever
SpongeBob?
this one-
He
whenever
goes
this
to his
one's
closet
clean,
and it's all the
it
same
gets
outfit.
worn on the very
Yeah.
next
That's what Marz look like. He like a cartoon character. Just goes to his closet. Same thing. Same fit
All
every
the
day.
same outfits. That's
Marz, are you a
fine.
superhero? Is that what you holding out on us, Marz? You a superhero on the side and we don't know about it?
No,
I just read stats, man. I just
Okay.
read stats.
All right. I can get that. All
I
right.
just read stats. It's crazy.
Yo, speaking of which, Marz, I got a super chat strictly for you. Hit 44 said Harden finna choke again. He thinking about strippers in Houston. I'm not mad at him. He also said he ain't serious, laughing my ass off. Some footy talk. Arsenal is winning the Prem. He's talking about the Premier League.
Yes. I hope Arsenal are winning, but I'm not gonna say that just yet. And if Harden chokes again, I'd be surprised.
I'm about to say, why can we not believe in him this year, man? Why?
I don't get the narrative in a whole that James Harden is a perennial choker comes from about 4 games of his career and a Portland series that was very bad. But
That Portland series is terrible.
overall, if you look at James Harden's prime, him choking comes from the game 5, 2015, game 6, 2017, and somehow he gets blamed for 2018 in his prime. Those are the ones he gets blamed for.
What about last year, though?
If
You about to get to that?
If you consider that James Harden's prime, but
That's
then
not
tell
his
me
prime.
I can't use AI in Denver as part of his prime, then you're making no sense.
Uh,
But if
I
you
mean,
want to
it's-
include that, that's fine.
That
You
is,
can
and
say
that's
that
not
last
his
year.
prime. That is not.
No,
his
hold on,
wanna
but
say this is
you
James
don't have
Harden's
to be in
prime,
your
that's fine.
prime to not to choke.
Ho, ho,
So
ho,
when it comes to
ho.
Iverson, that he
When it
choked
comes
in
to
Denver-
Allen, when it
choking.
comes to Allen Iverson,
Yeah,
it's
Iverson choked in Denver
2001
then.
and nothing else. But when it's
No.
James Harden, I got to use the 2012 finals all the way to last year's playoffs. Like,
So
it-
Can you
did
define-
Iverson
can you
choke?
define the
one of them's
choking?
being held to an unfair standard.
I believe choking is just either A, underperforming or missing unopportune or just having bad plays in unopportune times.
Underperforming,
Everyone's done that.
basically.
But that's what we
Everyone's
say.
done
That's what we say. We say
Right.
that all the time.
Like let me ask.
Like,
let me ask
I'm not
Warriors
saying James
fans.
Harden has never
in that
choked.
in the 3-1 and when the Cavs came back 3-1, did Curry choke?
I believe so.
Oh, that's one of the biggest choke jobs in NBA history.
I believe
Bro,
so. Yeah.
they had 3 games to win 1, and 2 of those 3 games were on their home floor. That's one of the biggest choke jobs in NBA history. And in fact, not only is it one of the biggest choke jobs in NBA history, we don't talk about it nearly enough. Because when you talk about the best players to ever play the game, you talk about, let's say if Magic did that. How about if Jordan did that? James did that, right? How about if Jabbar did that?
Or
If we talk about or Wilt did that.
He did do that.
If we had one of the
do that, but yeah.
if we had the best players,
he did that.
Right? If we had the best players in the NBA, and see, that's only the first round, Lo. We talking about the best player. He did. He absolutely did it
in the finals.
He absolutely did it.
He definitely choked in the finals too. Yeah,
he did choke in the. He did. So he was up 3-1 in the first round, but to be up 3-1 in the NBA finals on the best team. Arguably, they were on their way to being the best team in NBA history, and they basically had this series wrapped up. And we don't talk nearly enough about how that was an epic collapse.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Because he won more.
Because guys like you, Chill, want to use that 3-1 narrative as the reason why LeBron's the GOAT. And they don't talk about the fact that Curry forgot how to shoot in the last 3 games, and the Warriors choked and let him off the hook.
So.
Because LeBron, I'll be honest with you, if LeBron lost in 2013 and he lost in 2016,
he lost in 2014, he lost in 2015.
No, I'm saying if he lost in 2013 and 2016, we wouldn't even be it wouldn't even be close.
We wouldn't be talking about this. No question about it. We wouldn't be talking about
Ray
this.
Allen did not make that shot, it would be looking disgusting.
Oh, wait. Let's get back to what Tone just got finished.
Oh, okay.
Let's get back on that. Hold on for a second, Tone. Let me make sure I'm understanding this. So Curry choking and Curry going to pieces the way he did. Would that not be because
Curry? Because it was more than Curry that didn't play.
It was Curry,
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes also. Wouldn't that be because of how those other dudes played? You think they just went to pieces?
That's not choking.
No,
good defense is not choking. Choking is choking.
Yeah, good defense is not choking.
Yo, your own man himself, LeBron said,
the Cavs
this championship made me to go. He said it himself, like he did it. But now you're saying it's one of the biggest choke jobs ever that we don't talk about?
It is one of the biggest choke jobs ever. No question about that. But
good defense, I do choking though.
I think the Cavs contributed to that choking though. It's not this they just fell apart. We contributed to them falling apart.
Did the Utah Jazz choke in 97 and 98?
I think in 96, I think in 97 they did. In 98, I think the Bulls were just better.
And why were they better? Because their defensive shut down one of the best offensive teams in the league. We don't consider it a choke because the defense shut them down. There's a difference between choking and a defense shutting them down.
So then the KD choke last year?
I believe so because there's things. There's things that he did, but no, there's things that
because
he did in that series.
Played on his limitations.
Defense played him really, really well. That might not be.
But there are things that he did in that series where it's like they're just unoperative. Like he wasn't boxing out, he wasn't rebounding. There was shots that he was missing.
Sure.
Like there was other things that he also did, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like, let me use the one that I debate with people all the time about. 2007 LeBron, right. 2011. 2007, I think, was more his.
That's actually a great example. Yeah,
the defense of the Spurs. I think 2011 he choked, and a bad system, like they were asking him to do things those two are different. I think he choked in one, and I think he got defended in the other.
And in 2013,
what about Giannis against Miami 2020, the bubble? Did he choke or was that good defense?
He was hurt though. He didn't even finish that series.
Yeah, but the series wasn't great for him regardless.
I think that's
2019 against the Raptors.
I think 2019 is actually a better example of the defense is just being elite. I don't think that Giannis choked. I think the defense is just.
I think it is a difference between figuring you out and you still being able to do what you do. You just don't do it. So there's a complete difference between the two. So it wasn't like Steph Curry wasn't able to still crack the long ball the way he was. Game 7 is a prime example of that, where him and Klay Thompson as a duo, they go 12 for 36. So you obviously were getting shots off like you normally do. You were obviously able to get shots off. You just weren't able to convert those. Now, is that contributed to what we had done in previous games? And now we get up to this point, and now that's on your mind. And now you've basically at this point fallen apart. That's a choke job, as opposed to we just locked you up. Now, locking them up would be, we just basically shut these dudes down where Steph Curry went 4 for 30. We shut them down. That's not a choke job. We just basically shut you down.
Okay, why do you think that happened to Iverson? Why don't y'all think Iverson choked? Because he absolutely did. But why do y'all think he didn't choke? Why do y'all think he didn't choke?
I will never say a bad word about Iverson.
He went out.
Oh my God!
He went out all guns blazing. He went out all guns blazing. So
right.
James Harden takes a lot of shots, and we just talk about all the ones he missed. And that
he choked.
But hold on, no, Marz, to go 0 for 11, 0 for 11 in a playoff game.
Yeah.
to go 0 for 11. I mean, I don't get me wrong.
Steph Curry went 0 for 9 against Boston in Game 5, but they won, so I guess it means nothing.
Now, and with
that's the greatest shooter of all time. But
with that being said, who were they going up against again? Tell me one more time. Boston. And Boston was the numero uno defense in the game when they did that.
Golden State were an elite defense every time James Harden played them.
Golden State was a good defense, but when I think about Cleveland, was Cleveland the best defense in the game when Steph Curry?
But Steph choked, 100%. But Steph.
Marz, the difference is, they won that Game 5. If they lose the game,
that's the problem.
No matter how bad you play, if your team wins, it means nothing about your performance.
To me, that's
we're not gonna talk about it. If you won, like they won, so
they won in spite of him.
But doesn't
he gets the credit for the wins? Every single round of that playoffs, he gets the credit for the wins. When he wasn't playing great all the way through that playoffs, but he's the one, he carried them.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Game and they were winning. It means absolutely nothing, but they won the game when he played badly. But then you're going to say he carried the team. It does. You can't have
that means that literally your argument of carrying doesn't matter anymore, because if he can play bad,
anybody when they say carrying is a stupid argument anyways. Once you start that. No. I'm just saying the whole carrying thing's a stupid argument anyways. But just on the Iverson thing, like, you guys look at Iverson and you look at his, field goal percentage and that kind of stuff, but you have to understand it was a different time. It was a different kind of team. The way it was set up was he was their one offensive player. And when you're the only offensive player on a team, you're going to have to it's very much the Kobe mentality.
Why was no one else that bad?
Why was I'm sure there was other people in the league that were that bad.
Baron Davis is probably the only one that can come to mind.
Volume scorers?
Baron Davis.
Maybe Stephon Marbury.
Marbury wasn't even that
bad. Which volume scorer was on that Sixers team? Because you're putting them on a different team. It's a different scenario. It's a different
no.
In 01, AI was the only volume scorer, but in that early 2000s era, a lot of teams were built very similarly with one elite volume scorer, a bunch of defensive players and complementary pieces, and no one else was as inefficient as Allen Iverson.
Why?
Give me some examples.
Tracy McGrady wasn't that inefficient. Vince
Carter
wasn't
what team?
That inefficient.
Vince Carter in Toronto?
Vince Carter in Toronto. None of them were this inefficient. I mean, Reggie Miller, I'm not going to say he was the only piece, but Reggie Miller was never this inefficient. Kobe was never this inefficient. He had Shaq with or without Shaq. He was never this inefficient. There's a bunch of players.
Stephon Marbury was
all those team setups were very different.
Stephon Marbury
when you talk about Vince Carter. I know that one very well. He had Chris Childs, Doug Christie, Charles Oakley. He had players around him who were playing roles to make his life easier. Let me tell you, if you gave me Charles Oakley to set a screen for me, I'm making that shot. He also had Antonio Davis, who was dropping 20 a game as well. So different kind of setup. Kobe had Shaq, like you mentioned. Kobe had Pau Gasol. There was other players to take some of that pressure off. Who was the other one you used? Tracy McGrady on which team?
Marbury.
You can use Stephon Marbury or Tracy McGrady in Orlando.
Where did their teams go? What was their setup? I have to go look them up. Who was on that team?
Marbury.
I don't know those ones off the top of my head.
Marbury in New Jersey was playing with like Keith Van Horn, a rookie.
Keith Van Horn was a good offensive player.
He basically had the same crew Jason Kidd took to the finals. The exact same crew.
There you go. So again, there was at least some pressure being taken. Like Keith Van Horn, I think, is very underrated. Some people,
Kenyon Martin, Aaron Williams,
Martin. Yeah, there was some offensive taking some pressure off of him. So, like I said, they're not in the same situation. So it's really tough to compare.
I think that's unjust. I think that's.
And I'm not saying he wasn't inefficient. He was, but he was inefficient because he was being asked to do so much. That's all I'm saying.
No, but I think because if you look at those playoffs, because we say AI never had any help. You look at the first round, I think Aaron McKee was giving you like 17 a game.
I never said he never had any help. Yeah, that's not my argument.
The third round, I know Dikembe there was a lot of free throws, but Dikembe was having a good series against the Bucks. Aaron McKee throughout the whole playoffs, I want to say the whole Eastern Conference was like 17 a game. He had contributions like in terms of, I'm not going to say it was maybe as good as other teams. They had scoring options who were Aaron McKee was making threes in that postseason run.
But was that was abnormal, correct?
Sure, but in the postseason, AI was still historically inefficient.
Well, he can't change. He can't just magically change what he's doing, right? You're being asked to do this for 82 games. Come playoff time, hey, if you get some scoring punch from somewhere else, that's an added bonus. You can't change. They're not changing their game plan in the playoffs.
Stop taking
and that's also part of their coaching.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Shots you can't make.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of players who take shots that they don't make. You always think.
Not as many
Listen,
as Iverson.
let me tell you, Marz.
Not as
I
many
guarantee you
as
this, Marz. Let me tell you, from a basketball player's perspective, every shot we take, we think's going in.
Especially shooters like Tone. Especially shooters like Tone.
Yeah, and that can
Oh
be
my God.
completely true.
Especially
That
shooters like him.
doesn't
Every
mean
time
you don't get credit for that. You don't
Ron,
get
have you
credit
ever
for
taken a
bad
shot?
shot selection because you're confident.
Have you ever thought there was a shot you were making that you took, Ron?
I mean, you're shooting to make it. So
Bob?
I'm literally shooting, thinking it's going in.
That's cool, but when they're not going in,
Yeah, I'm delusional, Fluent. I'm thinking everything.
Okay, so let me address that too. When they're not going in, you know what the mentality is of a scorer? As one, I'll tell you, next one's going in, and that's going to get me going. So you're not going to stop shooting. That's just.
Fine.
It's not realistic.
I'm not saying he has to stop shooting. I'm saying it's dumb that he wasn't. Like, it's not smart. It can be great mentality or believing in yourself, confidence, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you're not making shots. Whether or not you believe the next one's going in is irrelevant to the fact.
Well, what is the other option though? What is the other option though, Marz?
Don't take terrible shots all the time and then get bailed out by people saying, "Well, he's inefficient because he has no help."
I disagree with Marz saying, because if the team is constructing a way for them to score, if he stops scoring, then the opposing team they inevitably be one. Like,
yeah, and let's be clear.
Convince you not to shoot anymore.
I'm not saying, and let's be clear on what I'm saying. I'm not saying he was inefficient because he didn't have help. I'm saying he's inefficient because he didn't have offensive help, and they were asking him to do that. They were asking him to shoot a lot and saying, "Hey, don't worry about it. They're going to go in, and the ones that don't, we got these rebounders, this, that, the other, that's going to help you." Like, that was the ask. Shoot as much as you can. And let's now, you might not like the coaching style, but that's what was asked to do. I played in an offense
of him didn't work.
I played in an offense where we went 1-4. 4 guys along the baseline. One guy up top was like, beat your man and shoot. The other 4 guys are going to crash the board. It was a terrible offense, but that's what they said we were going to do. It was horrible.
It was never going to work.
The only problem for that.
It worked one year. They went to the finals. You're right. It didn't work most of the other time, but it did work one year.
But then the only other problem I have is then it just doesn't suffice when he went to Denver, because he had another scorer. He had somebody else to help him. He still won the playoffs and was massively inefficient. So even in a situation where he had another offensive piece alongside him, he had big body screen setters. He had somebody who also was playing defense. He had bench players as well. He still was inefficient when he got to the playoffs.
And unfortunately, I have to agree, because what I can't say is I can't say that Dwight Howard was in his prime, but then Allen Iverson in 2006 goes to Denver. He's only in year 10. He's still in his prime too. It's not like Allen Iverson was over in year 10. He still was in his prime as well. So I can't use that argument. But what I can say is Allen Iverson, during his time in Philadelphia, that's the way that offense was constructed. You are the guy. You get us to where we need to go. You create the offense. You create the buckets. We're not going to design an offense where there's a lot of off-ball action. No, that's not the way this offense is designed. It's designed where you get the ball and you go, and we're going to play off of you. You're not going to play off of us. Now, unfortunately, in some instances, in a lot of instances, it was inefficient. But what he also did was he did still manage to get them to the playoffs with the crew that he had, and he managed to advance in the playoffs. He did take them to the NBA Finals once, but he did manage to advance in the playoffs when he was in Philadelphia.
I think their defense. I think their defense took them to the playoffs. I think their defense took them to the playoffs.
I think it was the combination of their defense.
I think it's a combination. You can say combination.
AI made their offense adequate enough to where their defense could lead them to success. That's what I believe. And that's what I've always believed. I'm not saying AI was a bad offensive player, but when we compare him to James Harden, who to me is one of the best offensive players ever, you're doing James Harden a disservice because you think James Harden chokes a lot. The fact of the matter is, James Harden choking is still playing better than Allen Iverson when he's not choking.
Oh, wow.
All right, fellas.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next super chat from my man K Spiffy. He said, "Will Myles Turner work for the Nets?" Just asking.
He would, but I don't know if they had the piece to get him.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. Who are they going to give up for him?
I guess Joe Harris.
No, who are the Pacers going to take for him?
Yeah, like they don't have enough.
And on top of that, with the Pacers trying to do what they're trying to do, they're not handing him over to Brooklyn. No.
Yeah,
that's true too.
Facts.
Jimmy.
No, Ron. No, Ron. I saw that. I saw that super chat. Let's please bring that super chat back up.
Lance Mansfield said, "Was the Luka Trae trade a win-win for both teams?"
You tell us, Ron.
So hold on.
Hold on, before you go any further, Ron. Before you answer this question, I want you to take off that biased fan hat and put on.
It's not coming off.
Take that biased fan hat off and put on your objective hat right now, Marz. Not Marz.
He can't.
Ron,
he literally was about to skip through the question.
No, he's going in order. He's showing them all and then going in order.
Take that biased fan hat off.
Yo, chill. Check it out. This biased fan hat is glued to my head the way that do-rag is glued to Ticket's head. It's not coming off. But check this out though. So hold on. Can we get the trade all together? So they traded it was the 2 and the 5 pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was essentially Luka got traded for Trae and who else? Because it was.
I think it ended up being the next year. Cam Reddish, right?
Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is in New York now. So
yeah,
that worked out.
So they got Trae and Cam Reddish for Luka. Is that a good deal?
I mean, if I could go back, I'd do it. I'll do it again.
Y'all call it. They call it a win-win.
Ron don't even believe it. Look at Ron's face. He don't even believe that. He doesn't.
Hey, I mean, look, based on what Atlanta has done with Trae, I don't think they regret anything. Trae's got him to a conference finals right now. Right now, they are a legit team. They're cool. Even going into the future, I think that they are content with Trae being their centerpiece. I don't think they have a problem with that.
Do you think they'd be more content with Luka Doncic?
They probably would be more content with Luka Doncic, but would they be in a better position with Luka Doncic?
Yes, they'll be in a better position. Yes.
So with Luka on this team, they're just hands down a much better team.
Have you seen Trae? Have you seen the Trae? Have you seen?
I'm looking at Luka. Luka got a good team right now. Look at their record.
It's the same, isn't it the same as the Hawks?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying if we switch them, does Luka all of a sudden now they're what? Are they a 3 seed? Are they better than the Cavs?
Yes, they're better than the Hawks right now. They're better than the Hawks right now.
So they have a better record than 17 and 16 right now.
Yes.
Luka playing with DeJounte Murray as opposed to playing with Tim Hardaway and Finney Smith. That's your logic, Ron? That's what you're trying to tell us?
But you're assuming they still make that Murray trade if Luka's there. Like the too many variables.
Even if they don't, they had Kevin Huerter, John Collins.
You're looking in retrospect and saying, well, Luka's the better player, so it was a bad trade. They should have kept Luka versus Trae because Luka's the better player. Sure, today. Was it a fair? Is it a win-win? I still think it is a fair. Not a fair. Sorry, I think it is a win-win. Yeah, sorry, not fair. It's definitely. I think it is a win-win though because I think Luka makes more sense in Dallas. He works in Dallas, and I think Trae is the right guy for Atlanta. So I think it is a win-win. I don't know what Luka is in Atlanta. I don't know who Trae is in Dallas. I think they're both in situations that make sense for them. So yes, I say it's a win-win. Well, not a fair trade, not an even trade. No, they did not get the better player. Luka's the better player, but I think it's a win-win.
Don't forget.
I don't like Trae in Dallas at all.
I don't like Trae. I don't like Trae. I was about to say Trae will be in the lottery. That's what he would be if he's in Dallas.
Exactly. That's why it's a win-win.
Also, too,
that's why it's a win-win.
Let's not forget.
Let me ask you this. Wait. Is Atlanta and Dallas better if they have Trae and Luka? Flip?
No, I think
Atlanta go to the finals if Luka's there.
You think Atlanta goes to the finals with Luka?
2021 when Giannis went down, I think.
But then Luka would also go down by that logic because also Trae went down.
Yeah, Trae went down because he's a 6'1" guy who fell on someone's ankle.
Oh my God, Marz! Come on, Marz.
Doesn't happen to Luka.
Marz.
At the end of the day, you answered your own question. If Trae goes to Dallas, Dallas is a lottery team, and if Luka goes to Atlanta, fine, we'll stay with Marz. They go to the championship. So by them not doing that, Atlanta, is in the playoffs? Luka's and Dallas is in the playoffs. So it's a win-win. They're both better teams because of it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I still think that they would.
Of course, I would trade Luka for
I don't
Trae.
think Atlanta look at themselves as losers. I don't think Atlanta look at themselves as losers, but I do think
the fan base does.
They probably shouldn't have made that trade.
Was there a better pick after Cam Reddish?
I think that's what they regret the most out of the trade. Was not the fact that they got Trae. I think that they regret the fact that they drafted Cam Reddish.
Tyler Hero?
Right after Cam Reddish was a bunch of better players.
Yeah,
Cam Johnson, PJ Washington, Tyler Hero,
Jordan Poole at some point later down the
Brandon
road.
Clark,
Yeah,
Matisse
Jordan Poole is
Thybulle,
bad.
Grant
There you go.
Williams, Nazir Little, Jordan Poole.
I think if
Keldon
the Cam Reddish pick
Johnson.
was
Oh
a
my
better
God.
pick, they're feeling better.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Kevin Porter Jr., Claxton.
They should have got Tyler Hero and called it a day.
I still believe.
I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of bad for Atlanta. Trust me, in Atlanta, they definitely regret it.
All right, y'all. Jimmy Two Shoes said most valuable defense today, interior or perimeter.
It will always be
Obviously.
interior.
I think it's interior.
It's always interior.
Because that's where the rim is.
OG about to say something else.
With that,
OG's about to say perimeter.
I was thinking perimeter because that's where the game is played at today. And
That's what I was gonna say.
the reason why, that's why we talk about Rudy Gobert the way we talk about him, even though he was the defensive player of the year, playing at the rim. But the game is played on the perimeter. And if you can't guard 18 to 20 to 25 feet, if you can't guard, you're a liability. Because guys don't really go to the rim nearly as much as they did 10, 15 years ago. So when you talk about playing on the perimeter, if you can't guard on the perimeter, you're basically useless.
They went from shooting 5 threes a game to 35 threes a game. The game is played outside now, so more valuable, not more recognizable, not more accolades, because that's interior, but more. I think more valuable to me means more valuable to winning. Give me a guy who can play perimeter.
I'm still taking interior.
Why are you taking interior, Marz?
You take away the most efficient shot in the game consistently, your defense gets better.
The
Cavs have the best defense. Their perimeter defense isn't great, but they have twin towers at the rim. Same with the Milwaukee Bucks, the second best defense. Same with the Lakers when they have Anthony Davis there. The defense is.
But what helped the Milwaukee Bucks win their chip?
Drew
Holiday defending on the perimeter.
Oh, I'm not saying perimeter defense isn't valuable.
Making Chris Paul and Booker look lesser than themselves.
Well, Marz, I agree with you. But my thing about that interior defense that a lot of people don't realize is that when a guard comes to the rim, the guard that's playing defense isn't supposed to just play matador defense like go by. You're supposed to ride your man, keep your hands up, and the big man can come over the top and get that block, deflection or whatever. You make it a hard shot. So I think they go hand in hand. But I agree with you. I would say interior defense as well. But that doesn't mean that you could just let your man go straight to the big.
You need both. You 100% need both. But if I had to pick just one, I'm going interior. But to be successful, you do need both in some regard.
Wouldn't that enhance my defense on the perimeter if I had a better interior defender? So when I'm thinking about Rudy Gobert as a rim protector, when I'm thinking about Bam as an interior defender, well, that would make me better as a perimeter defender. That would speed up our offense because we're able to get deflections, we're able to get steals, and we're able to get more offensive opportunities as opposed to guys just going to the rim, because guys don't go to the rim nearly as much as they did 15 years ago. I mean, I do see guys get dunked on today, no doubt about that. But guys are more today shooting the long ball. Guys are more today shooting close to the long ball as they are playing on the box, like they did when Shaq was running around, when Olajuwon was running around, when David Robinson and those guys were running around, when interior defense was the most important thing. I think that perimeter defense has become vital because I think that's where the game is today.
And to take it a step further, in the playoffs, what happens? The pace of the game slows down. There's more half-court sets. And if you have perimeter defenders who can make it difficult to get into your offensive sets, man, it changes the entire complexity of the game.
Sure.
We win. Next.
That DPOY argument though was a terrible one I saw in the chat.
Oh, that Marcus Smart.
Yeah, Marcus Smart won the defensive player.
Marcus Smart should not have won.
I think that was actually more at me for saying the accolades. But if you look historically, the accolade of defensive player typically goes to a big.
Well, what's your argument against Marcus Smart?
No, somebody just said that didn't a perimeter player just won DPOY last year, and he did, but I don't think he should have won it. And B, that doesn't necessarily mean that just because a perimeter player won DPOY, that perimeter defense now becomes better than or more important than interior defense.
Who would you have had win it last year, Lo?
Gobert just should have won it again. I mean, I'm sorry.
I thought Giannis had it, but I thought that Mikal Bridges, because when you think about the numbers, I mean, he averaged more rebounds, he averaged more blocks than Marcus Smart, and he had a higher defensive rating than Marcus Smart. I don't think he wasn't on a better defensive team than Marcus Smart. I think Phoenix was in the top 10 last year in defense, but that was solely because of Mikal Bridges. solely because of him. When you think about what was going on in Boston, I mean, they had arguably the best rim protector in the game. They had arguably the best rim protector in the game. They had one of the best rebounders in the game. So, I mean,
Mikal Bridges had a better defensive unit, for sure.
They had completely a better defensive unit. That unit in Phoenix was solely defensively based on Mikal Bridges. He made them go defensively. So when I think about, to Lowe's point about him being a defensive player of the year, I had a difficult time with that too. I thought it was Giannis.
Hey, yo, man, Ben Taylor's trying to. Never mind, Marz isn't here anymore. I'll tell him when he gets back.
There he is.
Ben Taylor's trying to justify him putting Craig Hodges as a top 7 shooter of all time.
Easy.
Craig Hodges.
Easy, please.
He's not.
You know where to find me at the end of the bench. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Easy. Take
Craig,
it easy.
Craig Hodges came on the show, so it was just
he said top 10. He was the 10th best shooter of all time.
I don't know where that came from, but
and I did Craig Hodges as a long ball shooter.
Craig Hodges in today's NBA would be phenomenal.
But is he a top 10 shooter of all time?
He didn't get enough opportunity to be there.
But if you had to say which one is it?
Can I name 10 shooters?
He didn't have the opportunity to do it.
10 long ball shooters.
You have to produce skill wise. Sure, you could say he is, but he didn't have a chance.
On the list, he has Curry, Nash, Bird, Price, Miller, Allen, Ainge, Burrows.
Whoa. Rewind. We didn't even get to Clay yet, but hold on. Rewind. Did you just say Danny Ainge? Did I just hear you say Danny Ainge, Marz?
He said
okay,
Ainge.
We done. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, I ain't hear Pedro Stojakovic.
I did not hear that.
I'm not sure about this.
It's getting worse. He has Seth Curry at 9. He has Craig Hodges at 10.
No Kyle Korver, right?
He has Kyle Korver at 11.
No.
JJ Redick at 12.
Oh my God.
And now here's where things get worse. This is where the players you would think should be in there.
No Dale Ellis.
He has KD at 13. Dirk at 14. Stojakovic at 15. Klay Thompson at 16.
Klay Thompson is not the 16th best long ball shooter ever. No,
he's not even long ball. He's just saying shooter in general. Just shooter.
Klay Thompson at 16 is egregious.
Allen Houston 17. Hornacek at 18. Steve Kerr at 19. Dale Ellis is all the way at 20, which is crazy to me. Dale Curry at 21. Dame at 22. Kyrie 23. Jose Calderon at 24 and Chris Paul at 25.
Can we get to the bottom of what
Mitch Richmond,
I didn't hear Chris Mullen.
What's Jason Capono?
Drazen.
I think we need to get to the bottom of what a shooter is, though.
No Glenn Rice.
Jump shooter, someone who takes jump shots.
Okay, so and not just shooting the long ball. We're talking about in the mid range, right? We're talking about guys like that. All right, so Craig Hodges is not a top 10 jump shooter all time. No, he is not.
And free throws as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
Based on KD has to be in the top 10. Based on
he will have to. Yeah.
Klay Thompson is top 10. Dirk Nowitzki's top 10.
Dale Ellis is
Klay Thompson at 16.
Ben Taylor. Ayo, Ron, I don't know if you want me to screen share or I just put in a thing.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? You want me to screen share?
Thompson at 16.
Yeah, you can if you want to.
That sounds super wild right there. I'm not saying that sounds wild. That sounds super wild right there to say that. That Klay Thompson is the 16th best shooter because Klay Thompson could shoot in the mid range. Not only could Klay Thompson shoot in the mid range, Klay Thompson.
Did he have Steve Nash at 2?
Yeah, Steve Nash at 2.
Yes.
Damn.
Now
I got it up, Ron.
Now to be fair, Marz, because I understand, I'm not going to say he's the second best shooter ever.
No, I respect Steve Nash, but
I just want to make sure, right?
Because
Steve Nash is almost a 50, 40, 90 guy for his career, right?
Steve Nash doesn't get talked about nearly enough,
right?
Nearly enough.
I tried to push the Steve Nash agenda, but
I don't think he's the second best shooter ever. No, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far, but that sounds yes. Who is that? Who is that number 1?
That's Curry.
Can't read
Curry
that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought
if I can't read it here, let me.
We good. Curry at 1, Nash at 2, Bird at 3. Mark Price is not the 4th. Well, you might be able to make that because now we're talking about a guy. Now we're talking about a jump shooter. We're talking about a long ball shooter, and we're talking about a mid range shooter. Kevin Durant is a top 5 jump shooter.
Kevin Durant should be in the top. Kevin Durant and KD, Dirk, Stojakovic, and Clay should all be top 10.
Danny Ainge is not a Danny Ainge is not a Dana Barros is not a top 10 jump shooter. Oh my God, I'm gonna.
Can I ask a question though? When you're saying these jump shooters, how are they?
I love Dana Barros, but he's not a top 10 jump shooter.
How are they judging this? How are they judging this? Based on what?
I'm assuming. I mean, there definitely has to be some respects to like the accuracy in which they're shooting.
Right.
I mean, Burrows has like years where he's like he's clearing 40%, like very
three.
From three, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and also
he had the All-Star year in Philly where
that's from three. So what are they taking their 3-point shooting and their free throws?
Free throws, mid range,
right?
Because the mid range they don't even know.
Yeah, mid range they don't have the numbers
because they don't know. Pre 98, 97, 98, they don't even have that info.
Something like
yeah,
that.
So Larry Bird
97, I think. Yeah,
Larry Bird would just be pure.
So they don't even have that info. And please don't tell me they went back and watched tape because we already debunked Dub, who believes some dude on YouTube counted every dribble.
No, he didn't.
75 years.
Right. No, he didn't.
That's just idiotic if you do basic math. So they did not do that. So I find it hard. Like if you're saying 3-point shooter, I'm with you. If you're saying, the look of their jump shot, maybe, but you don't have any data pre 97 to say mid range. You just don't have that information.
I respect some of these names. It's just
sure. The eye test. Sure. Okay. If you're going eye test,
absolutely.
I respect the name.
No doubt about it. He's not a top 10 jump shooter all time. I dig Dana Barros. No, he's not a top 10 jump shooter all time. No.
The numbers are pretty impressive though.
Dana Barros is not a better jump shooter.
He was good.
Dana Barros could shoot the basketball. He was not a better jump shooter.
I also didn't hear my guy Mahmoud. I never hear his name. Abdul Rauf. Never hear his name.
Don't get me started. Yeah. I was the man right there.
Who played with Barkley in Philly? Who's another like
Percy Hawkins? You talking about?
Percy Hawkins? Yeah, another one that's not on the list either.
Right.
I know a biased list when I see one. I make them all the time. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I know a biased list when I see one.
All right, so let's keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Brian out 10 said, "Hey guys, love the show, but the Nets still have no big that can stop Embiid and Giannis in a series. Good luck."
That is true.
The thing about Philly, me and Lo just talked about it. What do they have on that bench over there that could be the death of them? Because when you got a team like Brooklyn who's deficient in the middle and they could be taken, they can definitely be had. Embiid should be shooting the basketball in that series, in that area, 20 to 25 times a game. He could basically throw this team on his back. Only except we're gonna do something completely different where we're gonna shoot a bunch of long balls, we're gonna shoot a bunch of perimeter shots. Meanwhile, we got a guy who nobody can cover on the box and in the mid post. And what is that? I believe that's coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be the downfall of the Sixers, in my opinion. If it happens. But
Doc Rivers is not a coach.
But Doc Rivers keeps getting the opportunities, and then he keeps doing what he's doing.
It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough for that boy. Well, we got a lot of super chats. Jeez.
Yeah. Men's Corner said, "Will we see the Supersonics return or a team in Vegas first?"
Same time.
I think they go to Seattle.
I think they expand too. They expand too and bring them both.
They would have to expand too, no?
They don't have to. They can do whatever they want.
But there's been.
I think you're going to see either 2 or 4 or like 2 with a plan to bring 2 more because I think Mexico City is a strategic plan to bring them in and then maybe another.
I can't imagine the NBA not being in Seattle if they expand. The NBA has to be back in Seattle. It has to be back in Seattle.
100%.
There's no way the NBA can be legit if they're not back in Seattle. Seattle's one of the best markets in NBA history. They're the only. In fact, I believe what are we in 2022? In the last 40 plus years, they're the only city to have an NBA champion get their team taken away from them.
Isn't there some crazy stat that the Seattle Supersonics have been in the playoffs more recently than the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, the Kings.
Come on,
yeah, it is. That is.
They've been out of the league for like
all that stops this year. So
that does stop this year, man. It actually does.
Stop this year. It's still funny though.
Congratulations, I'm happy for y'all, but we still need our team back. Hey, we wreaking havoc on the league when we get back. Hey, when the Supersonics step back in the city, it's a wrap. It's on.
What?
I mean, y'all got every other major. Y'all have every other sport, every other major sport.
Now they do, yeah.
besides NBA.
Yep.
Y'all got WNBA, men's, women's soccer. Y'all got hockey, football, baseball,
football,
everything
baseball,
but
yeah.
WNBA. I mean, everything but
I
NBA.
used to love heading down to Seattle. Shout out to the Silver Cloud Hotel. They always took good care of me down there. What's up?
Okay.
Has
Okay.
had some good times there.
I was
Yeah,
about to
I was
say.
gotta shout them out.
Oh,
Oh, that's not true.
No, it is true. I had a great time there.
No. Sacramento played in the playoffs in 06. So there you go. Seattle
Well,
stopped
when did-
existing in 05.
Oh, okay. I thought
No. I said that.
no, that's not true.
Seattle's last playoff appearance was in 05.
Oh,
They didn't make the playoffs in 06, 7, 8, or 9.
yeah, that was the year that Ray Allen. They lost to. They lost. Who did they lose to? They lost in the semifinals with Ray Allen.
They
In
lost to
05.
the Spurs. They lost to the Spurs.
Mhm, they lost to the Spurs.
Another overrated player, but
Who, Ray Allen?
yeah.
Low, come
Well,
off.
here's the thing,
You
Lo.
know what? We're never gonna get through these
Another
super chats if he keeps taking us
No,
down.
it's fine. We can keep
I
going.
hate Ray Allen more than anybody, bro. But I'm not gonna do that.
You can disrespect Jesus Shuttlesworth.
We can go and continue, man.
That's
All
nasty, bro. Nasty.
We can continue.
All right, my man David. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name. He said, if the Warriors run around from 2015 to now, who would win the championships and whose legacies get a tremendous boost?
LeBron and Harden. LeBron needs that boost though. So
If the
I said-
Warriors weren't around,
I said this in the past that KD threw a monkey wrench in this whole thing. He threw a monkey
oh,
wrench
I'm forgetting KD.
in Oklahoma
So
City.
KD stays in
No, it
OKC.
would be. It would be KD
Yeah.
actually.
It'd be
Yeah,
the Thunder.
he
It would
stays in
be
OKC.
hard.
Do they beat the Cavs that year?
Who beat the
OKC?
Cavs?
Let's just go hypothetical and say that they
Right.
beat the Warriors in that series. Do they go on to beat the Cavs?
No.
I don't think so either.
But no, with KD would still get a boost because he would definitely make more finals appearances at that point, without
If he
having
never,
to jump
if
on
he
a
never
super team.
wins, if he never wins, he's still going to be disrespected.
He still be disrespectful. I mean, it'll still be beneficial. I mean, John Stockton, he receives the benefit of the doubt. Why can't KD? Let me chill. Okay, let me chill.
KD's better than John Stockton, so he gets held to a different standard. John Stockton just gets praised for nearly doing it. KD won't.
You're right. KD is noticeably better.
Who knocked out the Spurs in 15, 16, 17?
1 year
because
was
they
the
had
Clippers.
17 was Golden State when Kawhi went down. 1 year was the Clippers with
Clippers
Chris
in
Paul.
2015 hit the game
Yeah.
winner. Yeah,
Mm.
the guy who also choked.
That was a
without playing, he choked.
67-win Spurs team, so okay.
And then
I wonder if the Spurs. I wonder if the
2016
Spurs
was
don't want a
OKC.
couple more.
2016 was OKC who knocked them out.
yeah.
Well, that's why I said Kawhi, because I got the Spurs doing.
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah, when Kawhi got hurt, when Zaza stuck his leg out.
Oh,
Well,
17.
what-
That's just one season though.
But
Okay,
if-
one-
but-
one-
but
one-
if-
one-
if-
If Kawhi wins 2 in San Antonio
That's what
and then goes to Toronto and wins again,
does he leave San
but
San
maybe he never
Antonio?
gets
I
hurt
don't
when
think
he stays.
I don't think he
Right?
leaves
Because
San
there's no
Antonio.
Warriors.
He
So
might-
he
he
doesn't
might
get
not.
hurt.
Right,
Oh, true. I see what you're saying.
right. He doesn't leave San
That's
Antonio.
all-
also
it might
do
actually
those
be the
2017 Spurs beat those 2017 Cavs? Because that Cavs team was elite, in my opinion.
I got him.
But what I'm saying is, if there's no Warriors and Kawhi doesn't get hurt, and now there's the Spurs who make it to 2 or 3 more and win, even if they only win 1 or 2 of them, we're looking at, and Kawhi never leaves. We're looking at them very different. Very different.
Nah, it's LeBron. LeBron would just look.
I
like
say,
it.
LeBron. Let's just call it what it is, Lo.
LeBron still loses, though.
No, LeBron
still
doesn't.
loses.
Tone, straight up and straight down. If KD doesn't come,
The one thing
the
I know about
Warriors-
LeBron is he
hold on.
loses more finals than he wins.
right,
No.
exactly. And
I
here's
don't
the
live in
thing:
fantasy.
if
Reality.
if KD does not come to Golden State, he stays in Oklahoma City. They don't get by the Golden State Warriors. They do not, right? And
Right,
not
they
only do
lose to
not-
the Spurs,
right,
so then
not-
KD joins
not-
the Spurs, and they
No,
become unbeatable.
No, not only do they-
That's crazy. No,
that's not
that's
right.
crazy.
That's
No,
not.
that's great. Wait. So no,
That sounds about right. That
Let's-
sounds
let's-
like
let's-
what they would do.
They lose to Oklahoma City. Cleveland beats them again in 16. I mean, Cleveland beats them again in 17. I think they served them in 17. And I think that unit gets broken up. And I think James is not in Los Angeles. I think he's still in Cleveland in the 18-19 season working on championship number 6.
Nah.
because
I think they run the table.
I think the
LeBron.
LeBron.
Irvin's still in that crew too, by the way.
No,
LeBron-
Kyrie probably still leaves because
I think
Kyrie leaves even more. Actually,
Yeah, Kyrie leaves even more. That's one.
Yeah, no.
And
Kyrie's
two, who's that owner? What's the owner of Dan Gilbert? I think that keeps LeBron from staying in Cleveland too long. I think that relationship would not handle that length of time together again.
I still do think. I think LeBron does leave. I don't think he. I agree with that. I think he leaves, but no, they running through the Thunder in 2016, and I think they beat that Spurs team in 2017, without a doubt.
All right, y'all. Web Slinger said the 80s Lakers aren't a super team because super teams are synthetic. Stars getting drafted and developed isn't the same as stars signing in free agency. Same reason why Duncan and the Spurs weren't a super team.
Oh boy, you just became Hispanic mid-sentence. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was fire.
No, that is a super team. Why can't it not be a super team?
Because there's no such thing as super teams.
Well, first of all, Lo, what is it?
Makes you a super team.
There's no
what exactly is a super team in your estimation?
I believe a super team is 3 or more All-NBA caliber players on the roster at the same time.
Now, with that being said,
All-NBA caliber.
And let me say perennial, not like you had one great year and then you just fell off the next.
So with that being said, the Lakers drafted Magic. They drafted James Worthy, right?
Okay.
They traded for Jabbar.
But they already had Jabbar before those two drafts.
They already had him before he showed up, right? They traded for Bob McAdoo, who was also an All-NBA performer, right? So now when you talk about a super team,
Jamal Wilkes,
they traded for him. They traded for him years before.
I get that, but in my opinion, if it's to me, it doesn't matter about how you acquire them. If they on your roster, they're on your roster. That doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter how you acquire them.
Right.
So Lo, it's super to you. Super team isn't necessarily
the dumbest thing we've ever created.
Super team I use super
a bunch
team
of haters to try and knock their favorite players and teams for losing, or from a bunch of stands who want to make an excuse why their dude lost. Super team is the biggest.
Hold on.
It should be a
So, Ron, you kicked me out of practice last week. You kicked me out of practice last week. You kicked me out of practice last week. Now you got all these little jabronis in the comment section running their mouth. Don't even know what happened. I got kicked out of practice last week, so I took my bags and went home. I got kicked out of practice. So what happened when the coach kicked you out of practice, Chilltown? You go home, right?
Get out.
Ain't no coming back out to the court. Ain't no coming back out to the court. The man kicked out of practice, and all y'all in the comment section mad. Oh, man, ticket this thing. Shut up.
Get out.
Shut up.
Oh, wow.
I'm back with a vengeance. Period.
What's up,
and Ron? You're sad, bro. You like to put me on mute. You understand, Ron? It's 105, 106 every time I come in here. Sometimes Fluent want to have my back. You know what I'm saying?
When you're right.
You're sad, bro. I'm just going to tell you that.
I always have to get back when you're right.
You're sad, man. And Lo, I got beef with you too. You and Chill.
Ron, get ready to mute him, Ron.
Don't mute him, Ron. Let him say it.
I think we lost.
What's the beef? What's the beef?
Go ahead, get it off.
First of all, hey, Lo, you and Shaq are two of the most Chilltown too. Y'all are some of the most nastiest people, and Marz is gonna follow whatever you say. But y'all are some of the nastiest people on YouTube. First of all,
what did Shaq say?
To the James Harden stuff James Harden stuff you was running. You ran around saying, y'all basing AI's career off 1 year. Yeah. What did James Harden do after the year he went to the finals as a role player? What did he do? So, you're done, son.
He led a team to the playoffs every single year when he was in Houston.
That don't mean, hold on. That don't mean nothing when he had CP3 on the team and CP3 was the man. Because what happened after CP3 left?
There's years where he didn't have CP3 and he did that, though.
After CP3 left, they all said, they all said CP3 was finished. But after CP3 left, 4 years later, he ended up going to the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, James Harden still can't get there. Stop playing with me, Lo. Now you chill.
Who was on the team in 2013? Who was on the team in 2013?
You still capping for LeBron.
Whoa. Keep going, Lo. I mean, keep going, Ticket. I'm listening.
Yeah, you always doing that capping for LeBron. I heard you capping for LeBron. Bro, you sad, man. Like I said, you an old dude capping for young guys. We already understand that. and Fluent. Either you're gonna be with me or you're gonna be against me. Don't act like you're gonna just be, oh yeah, well, I gotta agree with Ticket, but nah. You gonna stand tall with me or not?
I got you, Ticket. I'm with you, Ticket.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Yo, who was on the 2013 Rockets when they made the playoffs?
I don't care. Listen, that's 1 year. The man had the most.
Who was
the
there?
man
Who was
don't play
there?
with all them.
Who was there? 2017.
We talk about how many Hall of Famers. We talk about how many Hall of Famers LeBron played with.
What year low?
James Harden don't get half the criticism as LeBron. Worse.
James Harden,
He came up worse.
Dwight Howard, Parsons.
No. Before, the year before, the first year he got there. The first year he got there, there was no Hall of Famers on that team. There was none.
You're right. There's never a Hall of Famer on a team. You don't make the Hall of Fame.
All of us say to you, Low, y'all ask me and Marz,
all over the place.
they say I can't debate you because you a kid. So they say I be bullying you. You know what I'm saying? Little Bobby down there say I bully you. So but chill, tell you the worst, dog.
I'm the worst, man. I'm the worst. You got
you got low in your pocket. You got low in your pocket with his
Here we go. Here we go.
And Ron is MCing this bull jab. It's okay. Like I said, sometimes Fluent want to be with me. Y'all remember back when I debated Marz? Remember what Fluent said? Fluent said, yo, Ticket, I thought you won, but see, when it's your delivery, man, because see, you no. Either you thought I won or you didn't. Which side you on, Fluent?
I said you won, and here's why the chat voted against you. I think
you tried to lean with it. You tried to lean with it, Fluent. I see what you're doing. Because you don't want to completely turn your back on Chill. I know what it is.
Let me tell you something, Ticket. I told you why the chat voted against you, and it's something I tried to teach Dub too. You have to know your audience. See, Dub's big mistake is he tried to prove his point because he thinks people care what he thinks. They don't. And when you play a game, you play to the rules of the game. And the rules of the game are the chat's voting. So play to them. That's all I was telling you.
But you I already know you don't want to completely turn your back on Chill.
I never said Marz's name. Marz's name never came out of my mouth.
You don't even have to say Marz's name.
Marz's name never came out of my mouth.
All this dude does is talking about I'm capping. I ain't capping for nothing.
Hey, hold on.
I'm not capping for nothing. You hold on. You about
to have the same problem Marz got. Marz got bigger problems than me. Hold on. Marz got bigger problems than me. Marz got Kevin Durant coming at his helmet, saying snatch his whistle and snatch his stripes. That's KD. And the stuff you said about KD, I hope he come for your ass next after what you've been saying this season, Chill.
In the words of Ticket, I want all the smoke. How about that?
How about that, KD? Hey, KD, we know you listening. That's ESPN Chilltown talking.
How about that?
It's ESPN Chilltown who's running his mouth after you've been balling and he don't want to give you props. That's how these dudes get down, right?
Let me make sure I'm understanding this because you just walked into the party, basically drunk. You that dude that's stumbling drunk into the party. You just tripping over the threshold, talking about your mother. That's what you doing. You just walked into the party. So you didn't hear a word that we talked about earlier today when I was talking about how good Kevin Durant has been, and not only how good he's been. I ain't done. Be the hell quiet and listen. I ain't done. So like I was saying, you didn't hear what I talked about with him about this season, how good he's been, and not only how good he's been this year. Why I'm not impressed? Because this is who KD has been for the last 15 years. KD has always been nice. He's just on the other side of who he used to be. The skill set is still there. He's still that dude. The question is how much longer is he going to be that dude? And why did he come to Brooklyn? He came to Brooklyn to get with Kyrie Irving to win the NBA championship. All this other stuff that he's doing, I'm not impressed with it. And the reason why I'm not impressed with it is because he's always been this dude. He's always been fire. His game has always been nice. So it's nothing new that he's doing. So make sure, Ticket, when you walk in the door, go get some coffee and sober up.
LeBron just deleted his playoff tweet. Y'all saw that, right?
What playoff tweet?
The tweet that he made earlier this year where he said, I can/will not miss the postseason again for my career. Oh boy. This hurt.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, he just
you gotta erase that. You gotta because it's looking whack.
He was hacked. That wasn't him.
Tone, you and me had this conversation with the collection of talent that the Los Angeles Lakers have. I think they're the worst team in the league. I think they're the worst team in the league, and I don't think it's a question.
And I tried to tell you that before.
As bad as it looked like it was gonna work for a time, and then lo and behold, what happens?
You can't be good when your best player is always hurt.
Ticket. I need my steak dinner though. No cap. Ticket.
I told you, trade Davis when you had the chance. Nobody listened. Nobody listened.
And Ticket
let me take it a step further. Jenny Buss, sell the damn team. Sell the damn team. Your dad would be rolling over in his grave.
Ticket. Also, I need my steak dinner. You said that Westbrook will shoot better this year, and he's not. He's shooting worse from the
year's
field,
not over.
Worse from behind the yard.
Year's not over.
I don't know if y'all seen the last couple of games. It ain't getting better. Over. It's not getting better. But if he gets traded, no, we'll see. We'll see. We're almost like halfway through, so who knows?
All right, y'all. Chop ATL.
He said it don't matter. It's from 3 or the field. He's worse in both categories. He's worse
than last year.
Yes.
Oh shit. Yeah, he is. Damn.
Ouch. Boy, it's getting tough out there.
Come on, Russ.
Boy. Russ out there fighting.
Pick it up, Russ.
That's why with AD getting hurt, it was a bad thing because Russ was playing so good and it was increasing his trade value. But the way they look like they're going right back.
Hold on, but hey, chill town. LeBron's the king. Why he need more trades?
Oh no, that's not what you're talking
about. He's the chill town. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest you ever seen.
That's correct.
That's why you need more trades.
Carried a bunch of bums to the final.
Facts.
And he's done that over the course of his career.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. He's done that. He's done that over the course of his career. Getting teams to the playoffs and going deep into the playoffs.
This man say they ain't put no team around him, low. But for some reason,
I never said that.
Fluent. For some reason, he said they ain't built no team around that man, right? But for some reason, this dude ignores the fact that they all of a sudden went from winning 48 games to 66 games. They all of a sudden. So if that was just LeBron games before that, all the years before that.
Yo, Ticket. Am I going to get my steak dinner? Am I going to get that?
Lowe's not playing. He wants that dinner
hook that man up with that steak.
That's what I'm saying. Come on. Hey, I'm not even going to bet you the money that you say you're going to put down.
The way it is. Get him a steak dinner. Yeah.
Get that man his tomahawk steak and stop playing, Ticket.
Facts, Ticket. I like how he just go mute on that though.
all the fixings.
Right.
Mushrooms, onions, all the fixings.
He can hold on the mushrooms. I just need my asparagus.
I don't liking them.
Get my asparagus.
Man, y'all gotta get your veggies in, man. Even if they sauteed, get your veggies, man.
That's what I said. Asparagus. Get my asparagus.
It's good for you. It's good for you.
The mash.
Oh, that's asparagus.
I got medium rare, Ticket. That's how I like it, man.
Yeah, that's the way to eat it.
I would. Yeah.
Yo, y'all making me hungry, man. Chill.
You're talking to the vegan. What do you think?
Wait, he left?
No, he didn't leave.
Oh,
no, he didn't. Oh, okay. He couldn't leave. It looked like he left. Come on back, Ticket.
He'll be back.
Good. Anyway.
All right, y'all. I got one more super chat I want to go ahead and throw on here from Chop
7 years that they was doing in Cleveland. Give me a break.
He said the Nets was smashing the Bucks in 2021 before Kyrie's injury. They ended up losing somehow. That's a stain on KD's legacy. Giannis gets the Middleton excuse though. Nets healthy over the healthy Bucks until they prove it.
All right. Well,
they weren't smashing them. Show me. They weren't. It was 2-1. So that means that Kyrie was also there when they lost. And when Kyrie got hurt, they were losing in that game.
Correct.
Winning home games does not mean that you're smashing them, dog. I don't know what to tell y'all, bro.
Right.
Oh my God! Here comes KD defender. Here comes another number one KD defender right here, boy.
Oh my God! KD pays my car note. What up, Del?
What does that mean?
Hey, let me get that hat. What does that mean? Let me get that hat, Del. What's up with that?
This is $6 from Forever 21.
Yeah,
I got them in every color.
Y'all came me with the whole they were smashing them. They weren't smashing them. They won 2 home games.
All they did was they did what they were supposed to do, Lo. That's it. They won their 2 home games, and then Milwaukee was on their way back home to even up the series. Then Kyrie broke down.
That's it. Y'all kill me with the whole they were smashing them.
I'm just here.
Yeah, get it off your chest, Dale.
Because the Nets might go in a 6-game funk, and y'all gonna be back on y'all madness.
No, I'm not. I'm
here to gloat for a little bit. The Nets haven't been making me gloat recently, as all you guys know.
Del, you're not allowed.
Give it up. Give it up. Give it up, then, Del.
He's not allowed. He's not allowed.
Continue with the gloating. Continue with the gloating, please.
He's not allowed.
But yes, I'm not allowed because
You're not allowed to gloat because you said the regular season don't matter. It's all about the playoffs.
I said that last show, so I'll say it again. But for the masses of what goes on in this landscape of players' choice of everything, for me, regular season don't matter. But for every other box on this panel, it does. So for you guys' sake, let me gloat for the Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant, presumably right now top 2 or 3 in the MVP race. We would say no.
Yes. He should be.
Oh, okay, thank you. So for that, another thing before Ticket left, I want to talk. I don't know if LeBron James continue playing is helping how you guys critique him as the GOAT, if this is helping him in his GOAT debates.
It ain't doing nothing for him. I'm telling you right now, these years ain't doing not a thing for LeBron.
I don't think
it ain't doing nothing.
And hold on, I'm going to tell you why I think it's hurting him. Honestly speaking, other than AD getting hurt, we could look at the roster and do all this stuff. LeBron James with that Laker team, I don't give a damn what no one say. Should with that roster should still be in the playoff race, and should even if it's an 8th seed, they should still make the playoffs.
Why? What place is Sacramento in?
I think 5th or
6th.
Yeah,
I'm in the 6th seed.
Anybody on this panel, I'll give you guys other than Bobby 2 tries to name me like 4 of their players.
Kevin
Aaron Fox,
yes,
that's easy. That's not that hard.
We know who's
yeah, come on, that's not that hard. Come on.
But yeah, they don't have the talent that the Lakers have.
No, they don't. I think they have more talent. They have more talent than the Lakers.
Marz, what are you talking about?
The top heavy talent, LeBron and AD. That's what I'm saying.
They do not have more talent than the Los Angeles Lakers. As great as you guys think LeBron James,
y'all hating on DeMontis.
Hold on. As great as y'all think LeBron James is, which he is that great, for an 8th seed, he has to figure that out. He has to. I'm sorry, coaching, whatever. An 8th seed, he has to. Just like Brooklyn Nets last year, when KD went out, when he came back, there was 11th seed. He got them back into the playing game. LeBron James has to figure that out to make the playoffs. I don't know how this is not. Don't say 20.
Wait, Dale, there were 6 other teams you could have chose from. Why you pick on us?
Well, hold on.
As they are, Bobby. I'm sorry.
We nasty, bro.
No, you're right and you're wrong, Del.
LeBron James still leading the team, but then bring up year 20 when he's for the last 10 games been averaging 30.
You're right and you're wrong because I believe the Lakers, if you look at the names, are a more talented team. But if you look at Sacramento's makeup of their roster, it's a better, more balanced roster. So you could argue who's more talented. But if you look at what Sacramento has, Sacramento's a more like that roster is better equipped to win games, right?
Okay,
the Lakers are very top heavy.
It's better in December, but we weren't saying that in 2 months ago.
I was saying that before the season began, that I thought that the roster itself, the Kings roster was good enough to be in the play-in. And I was going back and forth between the Lakers and the Kings before the season began. I was saying that. I believed in the Kings being maybe not as good as they are right now, but certainly good enough to make the play.
We know how great Braun is. As great as Braun, bro, I'm sorry. Braun has to get that team into the play-in.
But see, this is what we were talking about earlier. Why do y'all think that it's just one player's responsibility to make an entire team good?
That's exactly what you're saying, though, Del. Del, do you know that the Lakers on Christmas Day gave up 30 points? They got outscored. Hold on, I'm not done. They got outscored. They got outscored in the third quarter. Like 30.
Based on both what y'all saying with this one player thing, who do y'all say get swept? The Brooklyn Nets or KD?
I say KD because that's what you said. I will again. I'll say it again. The only reason why I give KD slander is because people like you, I knew before the series started, they were not going to win. I do not hold players to these unrealistic expectations. That was the whole purpose of the conversation.
I called that sweep. You guys wrong.
So
Marz also said they were going to lose.
KD.
I did say that.
How many people outside of Brooklyn? How many people outside of Brooklyn had Brooklyn beat? How many people outside of Brooklyn?
How many y'all say KD got swept instead of saying Brooklyn Nets getting swept?
I'm telling you the reason why I say that is because of people like you. If people
what does
like
that
you
mean?
I'm going to explain you. because people like you believe that KD is just so good that he's going to elevate the team like that, then you are now placing the expectations on what he can do. If you didn't say that, I would just say the Brooklyn Nets are going to lose, and I would proceed to list off the things that I believe that team is lacking, such as defense, continuity, coaching. Those are all things that I said last year.
I believe, like I said, just like the same way I believe in the play, I believe in LeBron James being how good he is could get that team to the play. I would say that 100%.
And I say, just for the record, I say that the Nets got swept and Kevin Durant played horribly. Even though he put up 26, 5 and 6, he shot 39% from the field, 33% from 3, and had 5 turnovers per game. So the Nets got swept and he played shit. I
don't like to make it.
Or Boston played great defense. You could pick whatever. But
I don't like to make it about KD unless
play up to his caliber. That's what
I don't make it about KD unless we're talking about KD.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Unless it's something like this, typically I'll say the Celtics swept them. I'm not trying to talk about KD unless I'm in my bag.
So it's rare I hear that the Celtics swept Brooklyn Nets, or people just say he just lost 4-0. He this, he that. That is what I hear more times than none. And
actually,
if we're talking about a player,
actually, I say Al Horford swept KD.
That's perfect. For Al Horford, whatever realistic you want us to put on LeBron James or not, what we put in is we are on the Lakers and we all consistently talk about the Lakers because of LeBron James.
Right. That's the only reason why they was on. That's the only reason why they was on Christmas Day, because LeBron James. That team does not need to be on TV. They don't.
Well,
it's hold on. They're the Lakers, though. They are the Lakers.
They are the Lakers.
And the Knicks and the Lakers.
I'm not mistaken.
We're gonna get
before LeBron James got on that roster. Before LeBron James got on that roster in the 18-19 season, and Kobe Bryant retired, the Los Angeles Lakers was not playing on Christmas. And you know why they wasn't playing on Christmas?
LeBron getting there and Kobe retiring.
2 seasons.
And were they in
16? 3 seasons. I'm sorry, 3 seasons.
And who was on that team?
On which team?
On the Lakers.
Trash. That's what's on that.
It was garbage.
Right.
Which is my point, Tone. The reason why they're on TV is because of James. It ain't because of the Lakers.
Now, I wanna correct it because that is incorrect. December 25th, 2016, they played on Christmas against the Clippers.
If I'm not mistaken,
that was a team that had Luol Deng, D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle. So even after Kobe, they still played on Christmas.
Because that was the one. I appreciate you looking that up.
How about the 17-18 season? Did they play on Christmas?
17-18?
Yes, that would be the. You said it's 16. That's 16-17. The 17-18 season. Did they play on Christmas?
They played on Christmas again. They played the Wolves.
Wow.
Thanks, Lo.
But the Knicks play on Christmas every year, and they ain't got nobody.
I don't know why the Knicks is on.
Them Marcus gonna get them games for sure.
Dub, clip that and put it on TikTok and say Lo owns OG.
I was wrong. I was wrong right there, no doubt. I was wrong.
I was making the point. You just gave the stats.
Yeah, facts.
I was wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Long story short, the only reason why we speak that way is because people like you, Dale, y'all speak the way that y'all speak on these players. If you don't speak that way, trust me. And every single time we had the conversation, when I said,
listen in it. I believe in the player that I believe in Kevin Durant that much that he could have won that series playing good basketball. And every game, I believe they had a chance to win, and they lost because of him every single game. To me,
okay. So that's fine. But when I'm saying is
all the continuity, all this stuff,
right?
First game 1, them losing at the buzzer. KD. Game 2, they had a chance to win in Boston. 1, if you go watch the game again, you watch that game, you're gonna be like, what the hell?
I think they were up in the fourth quarter.
Of course, it's 4-0.
They were good games.
Going into the fourth, they're up like 11 points. Game 1, they lost at the buzzer on a bad defensive. Game 2, KD shots like 2 for 11 in the fourth. Of course, it's a team concept. I think he's that great. You got to close that game. And of course, every game in Brooklyn, I think you could have played better to win. So you could be right in continuity and team and all that stuff. If Kevin Durant plays 35% better, Brooklyn Nets wins that series.
Yeah, but Del, you're being fair. The issue is the other KD fans who say the Nets are going to win because of KD.
I don't care what the other KD fans is saying. But
what they're saying KD could have won. They're saying KD could have won single-handedly, and then when he lost, they're using all the reasons Lowe had for them losing as the reasons.
Oh, no.
And I think, Del, you have to realize we're not responding to you, Del. We're responding to guys who say
that's what we're
KD
saying,
this, KD that.
Right. That's where it's coming
We
from.
have to respond by saying, well, KD.
Yeah, that's the only reason why it's coming from the fact that there are people who are saying that they were going to win because of KD. That's it. They didn't give any other after all of the things in which I would explain defense continuity, coaching, et cetera, people would still say, but KD's on the roster or Kyrie's on the roster, and that's the reason why they're going to win. So when they then lose, my response to those people will be about why KD and Kyrie aren't as great as you are making them out to be. That still does not doesn't absolve all the other factors that happen. That's all I'm saying. So that's the reason why we had these conversations. That's the only reason why we had them that way.
Playing 35% better is high key impossible. Like,
it's impossible. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like playing that much better. Like KD, I don't think KD played. I don't think he played terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, he played.
No, he was bad. He was bad in that series.
But I think it was like the refs letting the
refs.
No, we're not doing that.
Let him get off.
Relax, Lo. You be bugging the fuck out. I was saying the refs let the Celtics, play physical, which I liked, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think the Nets expected them to be able to play that physical of a style of play. So I do think that typically KD probably would have played a little better, but I don't think KD just played terrible, you know what I'm saying? But to play 35% better than he played is crazy.
Two things, Bob. The first thing is the referee. You can make that logic in one game. 4 games, that logic doesn't work.
Right. Because you got to switch up.
At some point, you have to. At some point, you have to adjust to that.
Physicality.
At some point, you have to adjust to that.
Is KD capable of adjusting to that level of physicality from Marcus Smart?
Yes.
Grant Williams and
Yes.
Al Horford.
He played against Tony Allen, and I think Tony Allen's
Drew Holiday.
He began his career in a more physical era than it is right now.
I mean, physical area. A physical era. I'm talking about one series. Grant Williams was hitting KD hard. Like I like physical basketball, and even I was like, damn, like y'all fucking this way up.
The Celtics last year, what they did, and I noticed it. They had 5 PJ Tuckers instead of the Bucks having 1. Only PJ Tucker was that physical with KD the year prior. Last year, KD coming off the screens, elbow. I spoke to KD after the Bucks series. He said, PJ beat me the F up, poked me in the eye. All last series, everyone was doing that. Every single coming off the screens was doing that. Everyone.
But you also agree that that's not the first time he's ever seen that.
That's my point. That's why I was going with that.
He had different help to navigate him getting a different shot or a different scheme where y'all bring up the continuity and all this stuff. But for me personally, no. You that good to me, you figure that shit out and you get a win.
No
That's
doubt.
how
I don't. Okay, maybe we just view it differently because I just think
I love that physical play. I'm not capable for KD. I'm just saying. I don't think he was playing necessarily terrible. I just think it was too physical, and I mean he needed a little more help. He played bad. He played bad. He played bad, but
he played bad.
It's Kevin Durant. So.
It's not even about missing shots. You know what I'm saying? He played bad. It's not even about missing shots, because he's gonna miss his shots. He could have went 3 for 21, and we could have been like, oh, he's not getting costly turnover. It's been some dribble where it was he just played bad. He played bad basketball, and that's what happened.
He played.
Y'all know I'm the last one to come capable for KD.
But my only thing is of course he played bad. I was just like, damn, everybody on him like what I was watching the show. What Chill was saying, this is who Kevin Durant is. This is who Kevin Durant been. This, that, and the third. Before the Nets went on this surge, no one was having that same energy of this is who Kevin Durant is or this is who we know him to be. So this is why it's a gloating factor, because when they were playing bad, it's not nobody remembering who Kevin Durant was or what he was doing. I was watching ESPN. It's kind of like KD, he really had to remind somebody. And in this stretch, them numbers, them mid-range numbers I see you tweeting
crazy.
I didn't even know that. That's
no, they
insane.
crazy. They're insane.
Yeah,
They're
I don't
insane.
I seen you tweet that. I'm like, nah, that's not real. Like
I don't think it's real either, but like that I don't think that's really who he is, but that's what he's doing right now.
Like come on, that's bananas in an era where no one talks about the mid range. Like that's
Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm gonna try to find a tweet. For those who don't know, KD right now in the last 13 games, he's shooting 65, almost on 66% from mid, all just off middies, and he's attempting him at like 6-7 attempts a game. That is absurd. Like that is the equivalent.
Even if that's true though, Lo, we know who KD got a money mid-range game, right?
But
so
65%.
This is like Steph Curry shooting 55% from free. Like that
okay, there you go. That's what it's like.
And
like,
you know Steph's the greatest shooter ever, but if Steph shot 55% from free on that volume, you saw.
So it's not 50. It's not 55.
So Steph could be making if he's doing that. Steph is making 2 more threes a game as opposed to instead of going 2 for 5, he's going 4 for 9 or something like that.
No, but look, is this sustainable?
Or 5 for 11?
No, I don't.
He's shooting 60% from 3 to 10 feet, 60% from 10 to 16 feet, and 55% from 16 feet to the 3-point line.
It's crazy.
Is that even sustainable?
I don't think it's sustainable.
I didn't realize it was that crazy.
It's crazy. So just FYI,
and that's for the season, not just on this run. That's for the season.
Just really? FYI, it's the equivalent if somebody was shooting 44% from 3 on high volume. That is what Durant has been doing the past 13 games. 44%. That is basically peak Curry accuracy.
So if Curry is 8 for 20, basically Curry is 8 for 22 on the long ball. That's basically what Curry would be doing. Something like that.
22 is like 30.
I have to look at it. But it's long story short, it's peak. It's peak Curry. It's peak Curry accuracy. No, it's better than 8 for 22.
It's more like 8 for 18.
Yeah, it's more than it's better than
actually 8 for 18 would be 40.
Yeah, it's 8 for 18.
8 for 18 shooting the long ball. And he's doing that on the regular.
He's doing it on mid-range in the past.
He's getting Steph Curry efficiency from the 3-point line on a shot. He can get any possession he wants. That's what makes it so crazy because he can get that shot whenever he wants, and he's generating Steph Curry efficiency.
That's
so,
why I think he needs to shoot more though.
He peaking, boy.
But I'll tell you this: I don't even care. They're winning games. That's the important part.
No, that's the important part. That's impressive as hell to me. That man, Kevin Durant.
Because LeBron's putting up numbers, but he's not winning. They're not winning games. The fact that he's winning.
I know you stop, Lo.
No, yo, Kevin Durant is amazing, bro. He's an amazing ball player.
I can't fight it. And
he's just doing sensational things right now.
And it's not me. It's not me hating. I seen KD over the years, man.
People have their favorites and have their whatever. I see someone, Nate Reynolds, say, "Oh, Dell, KD's great. He just don't think he's great as how you think he is." Nate, perfectly fine. Everybody knows that. I think KD is as good as I do. Marz thinks Chill thinks Bron's the GOAT. That's fine. Not because you don't agree. You probably don't agree with Bron's the GOAT. Don't get mad at me because you look at KD in a different light. Somebody said I'm getting emotional. No, I don't.
I understand where you coming from, man. I understand that. Yo, he might be the GOAT, man. I get what you're saying.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
What do you think KD's at all time?
I think he's number 3.
We might have to start pushing him up, Dale.
Yes, I said this before.
Dale, we might have to start pushing him up, Dale.
Listen. Hey, listen. Hold on. Tone, get something into this. Tone, are you getting something? Lo is doing this on purpose. What are you doing, Tone?
I want to ask Del something. I want to ask Del.
Keep those numbers up. Not gonna happen.
Wait, Del, do you really have Bird at 181?
No, I think it was like 201.
Oh wow, yeah, he's trying.
Look, we're gonna do it. What are you talking about?
Look, I'm telling you, you should really look into pushing KD up, man.
Seriously, then that's all.
Push KD up, man. KD, man. I'm looking at what Durant doing.
Basketball to me is gonna be better than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry, no one. Somebody
even if Durant continues to shoot 60% from mid.
No, listen. You're the numbers guy. You're the numbers guy. That's never been me. You know that. Listen, it's not about the numbers. It's to like, y'all thought he was finished, starting with Fluent. Thought KD was done.
No, I said he was going to decline.
In a show one time, you said there's only 3 superstars in the NBA. Then in your debate with Dub, you gave me 8.
No, what I said was superstar caliber, which is different than superstar.
Okay.
I don't know why you keep running to the Dub's defense, dude. I don't know if that's your son, but Dub got beat.
Oh, whoa.
Let it go. Dub got beat up and it's over. Don't come to his defense. No. It's done.
All I'm saying is KD's the best player in the league right now, right, Dale?
Oh, I like that. My bad. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Ron, make my face.
Get him in the tight zone. Get him in the tight zone, Ron. Get him in the tight zone. Get him in the tight zone, Ron.
Listen, nothing has changed. You know it, Lo. I can't see you right now. Kevin Durant is the best player in basketball. He's been the best player for the last 4 to 5 years to me personally. Ron, you know that. We've talked, we've had debate playing poker in Turkey. You know what's going on when it comes to that to me personally. So this 13 stretch has nothing to do with him being the best player in basketball. That still stands till this day.
Wait, just 4 or 5 years? It should. Why not longer? I thought it was a decade.
I thought it was since LeBron was in Miami.
Yeah.
So in 1920,
I didn't know he was being sarcastic this whole time.
In 1920, when he didn't play, he was the best player. In 2021, he was the best player.
Listen, Tessa, I bring out the best of Love.
I'm just asking. You said back in Miami, KD was better, right? Back when LeBron was in Miami, KD was better.
When did he win MVP? 14?
2014.
Yes. 14, yeah. That's almost a decade ago, bro.
I don't do the MVP. Honestly,
I'm just asking you.
I would take KD then, but Braun energy was just different back then. That's why I could sit here and not know what to say when you ask that question. Okay. Honestly, his energy was just, but pure game,
But 4 years ago, 2018, no, KD undeniably was better.
I'm gonna be honestly speak. This is how it go for me because y'all gonna give Shaq. I'm gonna go from 2003 to 2012. I think Kobe Bryant was the best player in basketball.
Okay, and then after 2012,
and after
then LeBron had
LeBron got
a 3-year stretch. He got a season or two.
I did LeBron to 2016, 17, maybe around.
And then since then, KD been running it
straight. Usain Bolt,
midi god. Oh, man, hey, I love it, man. I love it.
And now I'm less fluent.
This is fantastic. I don't like Dale. I love Dale. Dale is awesome. Thank you very much, Dale. I so appreciate you, brother.
I hate looking at the chat and somebody bringing up Dr. J. What No,
don't even, because they don't understand the skill. They don't understand what's going on right now. They don't get it,
bro. We're not talking about Dr. J.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Asking about Larry Bird. We're not doing that.
Can he shoot 60% from mid?
No, I wasn't even gonna bring up mid, but we talking about come on, jab step.
You wouldn't know.
Jab step back then.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't got a jab step. He ain't got the pull up jumper. He ain't got the jumbo. What's going on?
And Bird had no left hand.
They ain't got no bags. Ziploc.
Did y'all see them do a jab step? We're not talking about that.
That's what I'm saying. We talking about people with Duffies, man. Carry-ons. Garbage bags. Come on. That's the bags we talking about, man. We're not talking about Ziplocs.
Look, what they talking about?
We talking about garbage bags, man.
The big bags.
Goodwill.
Oh my God.
Giving away points and buckets, man.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, yo.
75 super chats. Let's go, Ron.
Man,
this is awesome. Hey, Dale, you made my day. I'm so straight.
No, for real. I'm sorry about the super chats. This has been amazing.
Somebody said Dale don't even know Lo is roasting him. Do y'all know who I am?
This is Bird. This is Bird.
You think I don't know what Lo is doing? If you really believe that this is your first time watching this show, if you really don't believe I don't know what Lo is doing,
this is Bird, a chip bag.
More than Lo,
chip bag.
More than Lo boasting KD, he cannot wait for the next to lose 3 in a row. He cannot wait. You don't think I know what's going on?
Man, Bird is a chip bag. This is KD. This is Bird, man.
Why you got so much?
Wait, Lo. Show us again, Lo. Show us again.
This is Larry Bird. This is Dr. J. This is Wilt Chamberlain. This is Kareem. This is Durant.
That's his bag.
Come on, man. Carry-ons. They got carry-ons, bro.
This is fantastic.
I'm getting kind of hungry now. Between the steak talk and those chips, I'm getting hungry.
It's a lot of snacks over there with Lo too, by the way. Let's put that out there.
It's just one bag. I keep showing
that's the one bag that you showed.
What's in the
overnight me some snacks, dog.
A lot of snacks over there.
Garbage bag is full of snacks. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. That garbage bag is not garbage. It's snacks.
Yeah, that's a lot of snacks.
Hey yo, I need some of those.
Snacks.
Oh man.
It is a lot of water though. It is a lot of water.
Nah, y'all wild in this episode.
Nah, yo.
Oh man.
All
right.
Episode ever.
I got a couple super chats I want to try to get into, man.
Yep.
The web slinger, he chimed in. He said, to be fair, Iverson played in a dead ball era. Weren't many non-bigs shooting 45% or more, let alone an undersized guard that had to carry his team's offense. James Harden only shoots 2% better for his career.
First of all, what does dead ball mean? What does that mean? Some players.
I mean low scoring.
Ball stoppers,
slow pace.
Yeah. Lucas.
No, but people just identify the era of basketball as the dead ball era,
and still using field goal percentage.
Still using field goal percentage to determine who's more efficient is crazy. This is crazy.
It's nearly 2023.
Yeah, come on, it's crazy. Come on now.
Dale, you finna play that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was getting a text from my good friend Dub.
That's what I'm saying. You finna play? You finna play that?
Man.
You finna play that, Dale?
I'm doing it right now as we speak. Hold on.
Dub, I hate you, bro.
MC Robinson said, who has a better six man, Russell Westbrook or John Wall this season? Who's been a better six man?
I haven't been watching too much of John Wall, so I'm not going to even comment.
There was a stretch when Russ was sixth man of the year, and he was actually not bad efficiently. He actually wasn't, and that was because AD was playing the way AD was playing. So there was a stretch when Russ was playing better. So
let me go see what John Wall doing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all sitting here putting them in the same convo. All I know is Russ is still somehow averaging 8 assists off the bench, which is crazy to me.
I think Russ has been better.
Yeah, Russ has been better.
I've only watched about 5 Clippers games, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I haven't watched many. Well, looking at the numbers, I would say Russ still. Oh boy.
Keandre Traylor said, why nobody talking about Harden losing to Dame in 2014? Y'all always bring up the Warriors.
Yeah, 2014 was bad.
Yeah, 2014, I'm gonna say. Nobody's saying that. I'd rather have somebody lead me to the playoffs every year instead of miss it a few times like Iverson did.
Alex Campbell chimed in. He said, why doesn't LaMelo get criticized for not progressing as a player?
He actually progressed last year, and then this year he got hurt. So he was progressing he got hurt. So that's not the case. He was actually getting better. He just got hurt.
Was that a super chat just now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy super chat.
Like, what are you talking about? He's an all-star. And then he got hurt. Like, what?
Even his points are increasing right now. He's averaging 24.
They just got to get him out of Charlotte.
Good basketball.
For sure. They do need to get him out of Charlotte.
Free Melo.
Yeah, trust me.
They got Wembanyama.
They are going to get Wemby. They are going to get
Wemby. Jordan will do something and they'll draft somebody else.
No.
He always makes
that's too much of a layup. That's too much of a layup.
All right. Then he's going to be a bust.
Oh, wow.
No.
I'm not sold on him yet.
Why not?
Put Bowl on Charlotte. How much better are they?
Please stop. I saw
this
that.
Bowl.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop.
I hate that.
Yeah, that was such a bad take. Shaq is nasty for saying that take. He said Bol and Wembanyama are the same player. No, they are not.
He said they were the same guy.
He said they coming into the NBA. Their highlight footage package, whatever.
His exact words were Bobo and Wembanyama are the same player. He said that.
Offensively.
He said they're the same player.
They still weren't the same player. He said I know, but even if you want to say coming into the league offensively, they're still not the same player.
No.
Wemby is going crazy stuff.
Bobo at 18 is not nearly what Wemby is at 18.
I stand on the fact that most skinny 7-footers, with the exception of KD, fizzle anyways. So
I guess so.
Maybe Wembanyama is the exception.
We'll see.
Would you say KP is fizzling? Porzingis
he's a unicorn for real, because when he's healthy, he's nice. Yeah. We got to see. We got to put a few more years on him.
Ron, put that back up, man. Put that back up.
Which one? The Jordan one?
You read that right? Yeah, you read that right.
Jordan failed in the finals against the Sonics. He averaged 27.5 and 4 on 41% from the field.
Go watch that series, man. They doubled him practically every single time he touched the ball. And Scottie Pippen failed him. There, I said it, bro. Scottie Pippen failed that, man. That's who failed that series, man.
They won the series.
Scottie Pippen still failed him.
They won.
They still won. They won.
Scottie Pippen failed him.
If you guys that I see that pop up, the torn Achilles question is like people are really like idiots. I'm sorry, whoever said that. You're an idiot.
It's not hard.
He's asking a question. It's a
question.
Asking,
you think
thinks a player is the best until proven otherwise. KD being out doesn't mean he's automatically just not the best anymore. If KD came back,
there's no such thing as dumb questions. Yeah.
So if you're number one, if you're the best player in the league, you get hurt and you miss a year and a half, you're still the best player in the league until you come back and prove that you're not the best?
No.
Well, no, because I'll put it like if you were the best in the league, got hurt, and then there was a player who during that time was playing better than you were before you left, and they genuinely got better, then I wouldn't say you were the best in the league anymore. But if there's no one better than what you were before you left, I'd say you were still the best until proven otherwise, which is why I still had Kawhi like top 6 or 7. And
I do the opposite. Once you're hurt, you're zero. And you got to come back and prove yourself.
Well, when you talk Achilles, it's hard to say, but based on KD's game, it was for me in my mind. I was like, if he's healthy, he'll be the same player because it's not that much like athleticism for him.
That's his game. That's who KD. That's who KD.
Yes, for sure lost a step of athleticism, but you know what I mean. Compared to like
John Wall.
What year was that he got hurt? Year what?
No, you're saying like it wasn't seam injury, but like Derrick Rose.
He tears Achilles. 13?
Who? John Wall? No, I was in 8. That was in 8. Oh, KD was in 18-19.
No. What year of his career was that? 13 or 12 for him?
Let's see. He came in 07 and then 18-19.
I want to say 12. I
think 13. I think it was 13. I think it was 13. It was 13.
For a player for me like a LeBron James, it would have probably affected him a little bit different because his speed, his power, that would have affected his game different than it affected the KD just because.
Right.
Like, of course, for sure, he lost a step
athletically, right? All right.
And a quick burst, but for the most part, you know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All right, y'all. Jay Gibson with the super chat. He said, which superstar had the biggest potential? Penny Hardaway, Tracy McGrady.
Grant Hill. If he's this, Grant Hill.
It's Grant Hill.
Grant Hill. Yeah, it's definitely
Penny Hardaway.
I know Penny.
Always the contrarian.
I personally got Penny too.
Yo, Grant.
I know you do.
Yo, listen, yo.
The thing about Penny was already starting to break down even when he had Shaq. When Shaq left, now all the onus was on him, and that just sped up the process of him breaking down. Grant Hill, on the other hand, was multifaceted. He was a better defender. He was better in transition. He was a better athlete than Penny Hardaway. I think Grant Hill was on his way to being an all-time great. All-time great.
Man. He had me wearing felines.
Oh, wow.
Yo, Grant,
I had a pair of them too. I ain't gonna fight that. I had a pair too. Yeah, I did.
Grant Hill?
Everybody did.
Yeah, I had a pair of felines.
We all did.
Felines, Grant Hill was like at that time, he really would have been the face of the NBA.
That's what they was going for before he broke down.
Leaving from Duke, yo, Grant Hill was really a monster. Monster.
That was the plan.
A monster.
T-Mac's problem, I said this once a million times. T-Mac's problem was he left Toronto. He should have stayed. Him and Vince Carter growing together. Yeah.
That's why I get it.
If those two stay together, Kobe said it, not just me. If those two stay together, that team is making it to the finals against the Lakers. That he ruined himself by trying to be the man. He should have stayed put.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really disappointed I didn't get a chance to see them for at least a good 3 to 4 years more. At least. Let alone if they would have stayed just for the duration of their career. I think that would have been ridiculous.
The only person I feel like that, because I don't think that hurt T-Mac as much as you guys are saying, but like
I don't think he did.
Stephon Marbury leaving KG, I think that hurt him more in that same instance.
Stupid. I was dumb.
Also, I feel like we got a gist of who T-Mac was. The other two, I just don't feel like we got You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
T-Mac's less of a what if.
If T-Mac doesn't have to carry the load and he shares it, I think they both progress better pushing each other.
He had 3-year stretch that was crazy. 3 to 4 year for Grant was crazy. I think the year he first got to Orlando and got hurt, he was still voted like the starter for the All-Star based on his fan base or some stuff like that. He was wild what they wanted him to become for the NBA.
But 2000 was the year where Grant Hill was like, that's arguably the best version of G Hill that we saw, and he was still in Detroit.
Yeah.
Orlando, I just feel like
he got hurt going to Orlando. That free agency.
Yeah. But I feel like Orlando T-Mac is like who T-Mac genuinely was. Like I don't think that there's like a question.
There wasn't much going on.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
right. Yeah. We got to see who Tracy McGrady was.
Yeah, we just didn't see it for a long time.
Right.
We saw what he was.
We did get to see that for a stretch too. It wasn't like we only got to see it for a year, or we got to see it for a while. Who he really was.
For Grant Hill by 2000, it was really just 2000, and that was it. The lead up was there, but after that, it was it. Sorry, we can make it quick though. We can run through this.
T-Mac got busy in Houston too.
Joel Embiid playoff. What are you talking about? Who doesn't critique Joel Embiid's playoff resume?
He stay on the he stay on the roster.
He critiques it.
Yeah, he stay on the roster.
That's why Jokic is better.
Jokic is just a bad player, but yeah.
Jokic is a much averaging.
Do we want to play Dub Foul or no?
Nah.
No.
Oh no.
It's up to you.
Just because
no.
Dub like that, we're not doing Dub like that. Nah.
He's got like 5 of his own shows. Like, he really needs to be on this one too.
Yes, he does. Dub is everywhere we are. He's a part of the panel. Listen.
Superstars we have today. Almost every team, like 20 teams, have a legit superstar.
Keep going. Why don't you keep going after that?
Now he said that was Marz saying, "Fluent, your time is up."
Yeah, then I come back and say superstar caliber.
Oh, I don't know. Dub did that. I don't know.
Of course,
Dub did the edit. Of course.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I don't know.
That's the problem. L editor. Yes. Love. Let's go.
Jokic is shooting 71% on long twos. That's insane.
Yeah, he seems to can't miss from mid-range either, but he just doesn't have the volume like KD. But Jokic is that.
Morris, he about to 3-peat Morris.
If he does, then
he about to 3-peat Morris.
I still don't think it's gonna happen. But
I'll be wrong too, because I had Giannis as the league MVP.
Wilding and they won't. If anybody, let him win it again. If he played better than he did last year and his team finished 2 or 3, give him the MVP again based on the same narrative that you did last year.
And if he does win it though, Dell, he ain't never winning it again. I can tell you that right now.
Yo, Dell, you need to like look down or something, because someone said something in the chat and now I can't unsee it. When you look up, that hat, because of the fuzziness, it looks like you have a Beatles haircut. I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not.
If he has a 25-point triple double.
Yeah, they have to give it to him. Not give it to him. He earned it. Not give it. He earned it.
And they're a top 2, top 3 seed. It's gonna be hard right now.
Jokic for me would be my MVP right now, but
Denver's number 1 in the West.
Denver's number 1 in the West.
Yes. So they're gonna do everything. They're gonna do everything they can, no Tone, to give it to
Jokic didn't win the last 2. Would he be the
undeniably winning?
Yeah, he'd be the MVP right now. The only reason I don't think he's going to be is because of what's happened previously.
Okay.
Hey, who was it that was sleeping on Denver? Talking about they didn't have no defense.
They don't have no defense, but I don't know where it was at.
But they were hating on Denver. I told them KCP and Bruce Brown were kind of the difference makers out there.
KCP
Brooklyn losing Bruce Brown, that was big too, by the way.
Yeah.
Brooklyn losing him.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, that was big.
Sleep on Bruce.
Yeah,
yes,
Dell. And the reason why is because I know that you're looking at Ben Simmons as a defender, but you cannot have enough perimeter defense, especially in a league like today.
In that instance, I get it. What I'm saying is,
Bruce Brown won him that playing game.
I like TJ Warren to an extent better than Bruce
TJ,
Brown. That's why I'm looking at it. That's why.
But I think you're looking at TJ Warren from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah,
and
but that's what I like. I like that.
But here's the difference, though. The difference is that TJ Warren is playing himself back into that. Bruce Brown wasn't playing himself back into that. As good as he was offensively, he was better defensively. Plus, you got better offensive players that can make up for that.
But listen, so because you got Bruce Brown on the court will also be with Ben Simmons. Bruce Brown isn't that reliable as a shooter. He has to play in that dog man role. For the Brooklyn Nets, Bruce Brown had to go for TJ Warren to play because on the court it'll be Bruce Brown and Ben Simmons. And what is that?
We know that's not going to work.
And Claxton. But I see
Claxton too. Don't leave that part out.
For that, that's why he had to go.
I agree because we're looking at Bruce Brown now in this Denver lens, but Brooklyn wouldn't have got this.
Brooklyn, y'all would have hated him because he would have played like
he wouldn't
where
have
would he have played?
He wouldn't have been able to do what he's doing.
Mills doesn't even play no more.
Thank goodness. What?
Go ahead, Tone. You were saying something.
No.
Okay.
All right, fellas.
I think Paolo, to be honest with you, you about to read that super chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron. You was about to read that.
I mean, if you want to answer this one, I'll get to that one in a second.
I think that he's Antoine Walker, a better version of Antoine Walker when I watch him. More athletic. Man. I think he a bigger, more athletic version of Antoine Walker and a little bit more skilled. I think that Orlando has their franchise player in Paolo. I think the question is can he continue to develop and be that player that they think he is? He got a nice mid-range game. He can shoot the long ball. His handle looks like it's sharp. He looks like somebody that they can build around. When I watch him, he just looks like a better version of Antoine Walker.
Is Jokic a top 10 center all time?
Yes.
We'll see.
No.
Yeah, name the 10 for me, please.
No.
We'll see.
Yes, they can. He is.
What are you basing that on, Lo?
Yeah, because you name
I mean, he's saying right now.
I'm basing what I'm seeing right now.
Today, if he retired today,
he's not playing in the NBA no more after the 2022-23 season.
If he retired today,
he's done. Is he a top 10 center in all time in NBA history? I don't
he's
think
had the three. I guess this will be a half a season. The 3.5 seasons he's had is better than. Is just as good, if not better, than a lot of other players. He's definitely the greatest offensive center of all time.
Easily what? That's what?
No.
The greatest offensive center.
We had this conversation about him and Chamberlain. I don't think he was a better offensive player than Chamberlain. I do not.
Who is a better offensive player? We're talking about
Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic.
Low. Can you say that one more time?
Jokic is the greatest offensive center of all. He's the greatest offensive center of all time.
I don't know why this is so.
And this shit. No. Even if you disagree with me, it would literally just be Chamberlain. But that's it. Literally.
Okay, so you agree with that as well, right, Marz?
Yes, and I don't think Wilt is the one who should be number 2.
Who is it? Shaq?
Shaq, yes.
Yeah, okay, Shaq.
And I'm taking Kareem over Wilt as well, but that's neither here nor there.
So
you're not taking Kareem over Jokic?
So wait, Jokic is also
offensively
a player than Kobe Bryant.
Say it again.
No, we're talking about 5 men. We're just talking about
Jokic is also a better offensive player than Kobe Bryant.
Are you saying we just talking about centers?
No, we're just talking about the 5.
Question. Yes,
he asking. No, Bob had to go.
No, because Kobe Bryant was a better offensive player than Shaq.
Hey,
but you said, Marz, you said that you yourself had.
He might be. You Jokic, said Jokic for me is a top 10 offensive player ever.
That Shaq is a better offensive player than Kobe Bryant.
Then yes, Jokic is better than Kobe too.
Cool. Okay, right. Then there we go. Then I'd have nothing to say. Just want you to agree with that.
Jokic to me is a top 10 offensive player I've ever seen.
Jokic,
I'm 5 years old. So.
Okay,
you know what? I'm just looking.
You rearrange your statement. You said.
Jokic might be a top 10 center all time. Jokic might be a top 10 center all time. Because
after about seven names,
we all agree Kareem, Russell, no order. Will, Shaq.
This Russell thing is amazing to me, but
Olajuwon, Moses Malone. But then we get into what? David Robinson, Patrick Ewing.
Hey, I don't care about nothing. I'm taking David Robinson over Jokic.
After David Robinson, Jokic has to be the next one.
Even if you want to take D-Rob, that's fine. But that's just at 7. So
Jokic for me is at worst. Jokic for me is at worst.
Yeah, Jokic. Patrick Ewing was so good. Oh my
God.
No, I agree with you. Patrick was phenomenal. That's what I'm saying. When I get to 6 or 7, after I get
why you laughing at that? Lo, you got that.
We talking about in general. Or we talking about offensive. What are we saying right
now? We're talking complete.
In general.
In general. I thought
we're talking about offensive players. Now,
offensively, Jokic is to me.
Offensively, yeah, but listen, defense is part of the game. I'm sorry, I don't know why you guys keep.
I agree. That's why he's top 10 for me. He's top 10 for me, but offensively, he's number 1.
I think, to answer the question, Jokic is a top 10 center to me, and I think he either is or in the conversation for the greatest offensive center of all time. Yes.
I agree with you that he might be a top 10 center of all time. Offensively, best.
Yeah, I don't think he was better than Chamberlain. I don't think he's better than Jamal. I don't think he was better than Shaq.
Somebody who can average 9 assists is is very clearly the best passing big man in NBA history. Clearly,
he's that for me. He's one of the 5 best. No, I'm not going to do this again. I got killed. He's one of the 5 best passers ever. Like
ever.
You're not naming 5 best.
He is literally making the case again this year. He's doing
like
it
no matter what names you throw to me,
5 best passer ever.
Regardless, you think Joker is one of the 5 best passers in the 75-year history of the NBA? So let's see, James.
Yep.
Let's see, James, Magic, Stockton.
Nope.
You already
right there. Nope. Stockton is no.
We can carry on.
What are you talking about?
You just said you just said this dude is averaging 9 assists. You just said this dude is averaging 9 assists.
I didn't say that.
No, I was talking about 6. I was saying
dude averaged 13 assists for over a decade.
I was saying 9 assists.
13 assists. What are we talking about here?
I didn't say anything about assists.
I said 9 assists in contrast to the centers that he's going up against. There was not another center.
5 Jokic, 5 top 5 passes.
There's no way.
Jokic, who else? I gotta hear this.
Jokic, Magic, Steve Nash, LeBron James, Jason Kidd.
One more time.
Pass better than Ray John Rondo.
Yep.
Yes, he does. Oh my God!
What are you, man? Yo, stop, bro. You gotta stop, Lo. Lo, you gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop.
Yes, he does.
So he's a better.
Yes.
Let me just throw 5 names.
He's not a better passer than the panel who we changed. He's not a better passer than Jason Williams. He's not. He's not a better passer
than Jason Kidd.
He's talking about passing.
Yes, he's
Joko is a better passer than Isaiah Thomas. Is that what you're talking about? Joko a better passer than Oscar Robertson.
We're not doing that.
Is that what we're doing right now?
How about this? How about his playmaking?
Joko was a better pass. He said we talking about top 5 passes all time.
Don't change it. Don't change it, bro.
I think he a top 10 passer.
I'm sitting here and I'm listening to Marz tell me that Joker is a better passer than John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, and Chris Paul.
Yes.
Not insane. Send me the clips of
I don't even think
I can't show me that. I can't.
Yo, Dale, you don't even have to watch clips. Just watch that Memphis game. That Memphis game alone.
I'm listening to
this is where confusion.
Y'all intoxicated.
I'm saying.
How are y'all rating best passing? Like, what are y'all doing?
I'm okay. Let me say this.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm trying.
I'll answer.
Lo, you don't even look like a drinker.
Pass. I don't drink. No, I don't drink. Passing. The difference between passing and playmaking. Playmaking is just giving your team the advantage and creating opportunities for them. Passing is the actual skill of passing.
The ability to deliver the basketball in an efficient way.
Yes.
And you're going to sit here and tell me that Joker is a better passer than John Stockton. He's a better passer. He's a better passer than Chris Paul. He's a better passer. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Del. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Del.
Talking about the flair of passing, which I don't think y'all talking about the flair of passing, because how is he better than Stockton if we're talking about the ability to deliver the pass and do all this stuff? Why Stockton is not there for you guys? So tell me what.
I'll answer that. I think I'm about to answer. I'm about to answer.
There is no answer to that.
No. Look, the ability to actually give his teammates the ball in situations, either leading in a fast break, half court at the elbow or in the post. We're making skip passes, no look, one arm, left and right pass.
No, you nuts.
All those things.
That's what Stockton made his whole career on.
Off of skip passes? Off of skip passes?
No, stop.
No, he did not. No, he did not. He did not make his career off of skip passes. No, he did not.
He listed 10 things.
Stop.
This is the most egregious thing I've ever heard on this channel.
Go rewatch that.
This is egregious.
Alone. Go watch
that. Give me the one game. And you're not showing me the one game.
Hey, Ron,
you said send the whole highlight reel. I'm telling you, you can just watch one game and you'll see what we're talking about.
What's the next super chat, bro? What's the next super chat?
I'm about to have a brain aneurysm.
Yo. Because apparently the guy who leads the league in all-time assists can't pass anymore. Go ahead.
I'm finna have a heart attack at 32.
So if that's the case, why didn't you bring up Mark Jackson? Is Mark Jackson a better passer?
Mark Jackson. No, I didn't bring up Mark Jackson.
No. What I'm saying is,
honestly, I would say Mark Jackson is a better passer.
Yes, we're getting there. We're gonna get there. We just got started.
Yo, there's no way y'all are saying that.
If y'all want to go to passing from the block, because Mark Jackson was on the block doing magician stuff.
And Jokic does way more with his passes than
I'll take Chris Paul passing too. I'll take Chris Paul.
I'm fine with Chris Paul. I'm fine with Chris Paul.
Bob, I'm stuck on the stop there. I'm still stuck on
that. I'm just ignoring that. That's just straight trolling. That's straight trolling.
That's straight trolling, bro. That man was just dumping it off to Karl Malone, and Karl Malone was a tough shot maker.
That's what an assist is. Lo, do you know what an assist is, Lo? Do you know what the definition of an assist is?
So all you doing is just
we're not talking about assists though. We're talking about passing.
Here you go, 32.
If I throw you the ball, if I throw you the ball,
some of the worst shit I ever heard.
If I throw you the ball,
I'm playing cards with my brother's kid.
Contested. Listen. If I throw you the ball and you make a contested shot, do I get the benefit of playmaking and being an excellent passer, even though you're still making a contested shot?
Well, y'all give Draymond Green the benefit of the doubt for passing the ball to Steph Curry.
Tell me how many of Karl Malone's. Tell me how many of Karl Malone's dunks, layups, whatever, were uncontested and contested when John Stockton was assisting for him.
I would argue.
No, don't argue.
It's like 50-50. I think it's about 50-50.
So half of those. You can't
possibly know that. You can't possibly know that.
The reason Karl Malone has so many damn turnovers is because when the ball's in his hand, he fumbles it. Okay, part of the reason he had so many points was because John Stockton gave him so many easy dunks and layups. That's why they work so well together. Go take a look at what he did for Greg Ostertag. Almost every pass was John Stockton setting him up for an easy dunk. Go look at what
Jokic is doing for Bruce Brown, Aaron Gordon, Bones Highland. Like, what are we saying?
Let's get back to Rajon Rondo.
Bones is in his own bag. Let's not bring up my young boy yet. He's in his own bag.
No way.
You think Jokic creates for Bones?
He creates for everybody on that
team. Other than catching and shoot, Bones.
No, there's no way you believe it's catching and shooting.
We're not saying.
What about Tony Parker? What about Tony Parker, Lo? What about Tony Parker?
Oh my God! Stop saying.
I'm just asking. No. What about Tony Parker?
I'm not even in this conversation. No, absolutely.
Okay. So look. What's more important, vanity or productivity?
Jokic provides both.
What's more important, vanity or productivity?
When we're talking about passing, the different abilities in which you could pass is what we're talking about. If I'm not mistaken, correct?
And to be able to make a difficult pass, because from what I'm listening to from you, and what I'm listening to from you, you make it sound like guys like John Stockton were making 8th grade passes, 9th grade passes. That's all they're doing.
In contrast to Jokic, I believe Jokic makes more difficult and high leverage passes than Stockton.
How is that possible when I'm first and foremost, he's not just passing the ball to Karl Malone. Okay? Let's make sure we clear on that.
This wasn't to Karl Malone.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Don't forget Jeff Hornacek.
I'm gonna have a stroke. I swear.
Jokic passes are
my last point, Lo. My last point, Lo,
is man for his passing. But all-time passing is nuts, bro.
And y'all just don't watch Jokic. Y'all just don't.
Legitimately passing the basketball.
I watch Jokic, and I see how good of a passer Jokic is.
When I say Memphis,
I'm gonna watch the game.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. When I say Memphis, it shouldn't even be crazy to you about what I'm saying.
But you see, this is
speaking of Memphis, Marc Gasol was a great big man passer too.
He was, but he's not on the level of Jokic.
No doubt. I'm just naming more passers.
I get what you're saying, though, but this is what's baffling me and confusing me because it's not about the flair. It's not about the flair. It's not the flair, correct? It's
everything. It's everything. It's everything.
Okay, let's put everything in it. The concept of every single thing you want to say, and that will put Jokic way more lower down the list to me, though.
How would it be lower?
If we're talking about flair, then you can't have Rajon Rondo not above him.
Rondo has the flair. He has the penetration. Everything you call about pass, the flashiness, Rondo spin around one time and did a pass. When you say better passer and stuff like that, and making it look like a normal bounce pass.
Like for example, like LeBron's total assists.
No, not the gravity. The ability to make a very difficult pass seems just like a handoff.
That's what I'm about to say.
That's why.
Thank you, Crazy K. I got you, Crazy K in the chat. Because what about Arvinas? What about Arvinas Sabonis?
LeBron's total assist numbers are not that crazy, right?
Yeah,
he's still an amazing.
I'm not bringing up this right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but he's still an amazing passer. So in terms of Jokic, bro, the amount of
we're going off this. So we're going off this.
Passes.
We're going off the logic.
Between the legs, behind the backs, bro, everything. It's everything.
Right. So we're going off the skill set of his ability to pass and not what it's produced.
But I think Jokic checks both of those boxes though. Anyway,
but
not more than.
So
wait. All right. So let me just last question. Last question. So do you think that by that logic, you think that Stockton is the greatest passer? Is that what y'all saying?
No, that's not the.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's better than Jokic, fine. But so do you think Stockton is the second greatest passer?
I'm not basing it on dimes. That's why I could bring up someone like Jason Williams.
No, but I'm asking Chill. I'm asking OG right now.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Are you saying that Stockton is the second greatest passer?
No. Not based on not I think he's a top 5. I think he's a top 5 passer all time. No doubt about that. And it's not based on his assist total. No, I'm not doing that.
Sure.
We're not doing that.
How much is that into it though?
His assist total?
Yes.
His production, it matters. And it matters a lot. His ability to pass the ball, his skill set, that matters. But what you are producing matters just as much, because if it looks good and it's not amounting to anything, I don't care.
And so when I'm asking is, are there people, do you have ranked ahead of him that have fewer, noticeably less assist averages, like LeBron? Would you say LeBron is a better passer than Stockton?
Would I say LeBron is a better passer?
Even though LeBron only averages like 7 assists.
I think it looks different. I think it looks different. I'm not going to say that he's a better passer than Stockton. I think it looks different in terms of his skill set. I do think it looks different, but I'm not going to go as far as Stockton's production was better.
Okay,
Stockton produced more.
Okay, so we're just arguing there because I think LeBron is a better passer than Stockton, even though his numbers are not anywhere near close. So we have a different. We had different arguments. Sorry. I know we gotta get to these super chats, man. I know we gotta get to these super
That's
chats.
Nuts to me, baby.
Yo, Lo. Welcome to Players' Choice's Hall of Nasty. You have a slot right there.
I actually think when you put it on TikTok, you'd be surprised how many people actually agree with what I just said.
Well, I actually put up a poll, and 51% of the people, believe it or not,
in North America are below average intelligence. Low.
Somebody might
far below.
Hello. It's not mine.
No, it might be.
Yeah, but 51% of the people in the poll said that Jokic is a better passer than Stockton.
Well, they're wrong too.
Yeah, they are.
51% of people are wrong.
That's fair enough. That's basically equal.
51% of people voted for Trump. All right, moving on.
It's 50-50. Oh man, we can run. Let's run through these quick, man. I'm not going to interrupt.
We got about 800 super chats.
Yo,
they're gonna be tight too.
Look, y'all just gonna have to be mad at me because it's gonna take me a whole hour to read all of these. So I'm
speed run it. I'm not gonna say nothing.
All right, cool. Which players' influence do y'all think had a worse effect on the NBA? Bron in the player empowerment or Curry in the 3-point revolution?
Bron.
Curry.
Marz, are you gonna say something?
If LeBron,
I don't know.
If LeBron only won the 2 with Miami, would y'all still view him like y'all view KD?
No.
Or would y'all view him like you view KD?
No.
No, he's better than KD.
Yeah.
Genuinely, how good was Yao Ming?
All NBA.
Really good.
He was elite.
So we believe in Harden, but not KD.
I believe in both.
I also believe in both. They both.
Neither.
I believe in KD.
I
more
believe
than
in
Harden.
neither.
Chill. Don't get it twisted. LeBron owns biggest choker award. Jason Terry, the GOAT. Wow.
I ain't fighting that. I'm on record saying that.
I agree. He does. He owns that. It's a mantle that he wears around his neck.
I'm on record saying
That
that.
could be his NBA award.
I'm on record
That would be
saying
his
that.
award
Yeah, I'm on record saying that.
for the rest of his career.
Alex Campbell said the 3-1 Golden State series not a choke to me because they lost. Bogut and Iggy was limited by the back injury. Completely changed the series.
And if Iggy and if they would have won, you wouldn't give me a sniff about Iggy being hurt. So I'm not buying that logic. Bet it.
They
Kill
choked.
They choked.
What,
When the Warriors fans say they choked, they choked. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Go
they
ahead.
choked.
What's y'all's honest opinion on Luka and his future legacy, and where do you think he'll be on the all-time list?
Well, I wasn't doing that with James in year 4.
Yeah.
So year 5. So I don't know. We don't know what Luka going to turn into. Is he going to hold up? As of right now, he's awesome. I don't know how long. I don't know how long he's going to be awesome. So
Dallas isn't going to get him any help, and we're going to be sad that he never got help.
Yeah,
under
a potential top 30 player, but the lack of help is going to hurt him, unfortunately.
Jeffrey Bearfield said Steph had 25 in Game 5 and 30 in Game 6 before getting ejected in Game 6.
Right.
Didn't choke.
Watch the series.
Check out the percentages and what he did in the fourth quarter.
Please watch this series. Please watch that series.
Go watch.
He choked it.
K. Spiffy said, like, for example, when Liquid LV choked against Marz on Black Friday.
Jesus. Okay. Pause. Okay, guys.
Dub tapped in. He said, all this talk about choking. Pause that.
Are you going to say what that last word was, Ron?
I don't know what he was talking about with that.
Haram.
Yeah. No. Let me see here. All right. My man Light tapped in. He said, if KD takes the Nets to the championship and wins Finals MVP this year, where would you now put him all time? Also, bring my boy Ticket back.
Based on championships, I mean, we having a different conversation about KD. I think he's legit a top 15 player. At minimum, he's a top 15 player.
He moves ahead of Bird at 201 to 200 all time.
I ain't gonna hold you. He might be top 10 to me. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. He might actually.
He might be if he does that. He's the Finals MVP. Which he should be if they win. Yeah.
How are y'all gonna feel if he gets knocked out in the first round again?
It depends on who they face. If he loses in the way in which I expect him to lose, that to me doesn't really change anything.
Yeah. If he plays the same way he played last year and they get swept,
that's gonna be
or even lose, not even swept, Tony. If they just lose,
they lose. Yeah, and he plays the way he played. We have to have a conversation. Yeah,
right. I ain't gonna hold you. That's kind of tough. We gotta have a dialogue, a deep one. Look at Dell.
Wellington.
I'm waiting for something to get me riled up again. I almost jumped at. I'm not gonna say which one.
I was trying. I'm trying.
I know. I was trying.
201 was not moving me at all.
All right, I got to work harder. All right, let's go.
Yeah, sure.
Wellington said, if Pippen never played with Jordan, do you agree his career would have been comparable to DeMar DeRozan?
No.
Only if you're a moron who doesn't know basketball.
No.
And some of them you should just skip, and then we should say thank you.
I'm gonna say no. That's
we should say thanks for the donation.
DeMar DeRozan. Come on, man.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, you know what? I love the DeMar DeRozan comparison. DeMar DeRozan, if he was an elite defender with Ja Morant athleticism, sure. There you go.
Right.
Leaf Diggy said the Steph minions tried to get me, but I'm back. Steph is hurt, so they in the hiding right now. Happy to report my hometown No Nets are playing well. Finals? ?
No.
They could make the finals.
Anything's possible.
I wouldn't put money on it though.
I would. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think. Listen, you know how I feel about KD. You know how I feel about the Nets. Mm-hmm. Anything is possible in the East because Bucks aren't healthy, and Boston is always one argument away. They're so inconsistent that you never know.
And Philly's being coached by Doc.
Could be, and Philly's. I thought that went without saying, but yes,
Philly is coached by Doc Rivers.
The BMG show came with the super chat. He said, well, speaking of the man, the myth, the legend, he said, where does everyone have Stockton on the all-time PG list? Because in all honesty, Westbrook, CP3, Kidd, Nash, even Peyton are better along with the other four. And Jokic too. Let's not forget about that.
This is point guard.
Stockton's in the back end of my top 10.
Same. Stockton's on the back end of my top 10.
He's a top 5 point guard all time.
Five or six. Stockton's 5 or 6 for me.
He's a top
Stockton's
5 point guard.
10, like 10, 9, 10 for me. Depending on how I feel about GP.
It depends if I put Steph Curry as a point guard or not.
Shit is nuts to me, man.
Yo, Eustace tapped in. He said, if the consensus top 10 played in the 2000s, who would be the best player in the league?
And if the consensus top
10, probably
top
just
10 players ever or top 10 players
Jordan.
ever?
It'd be Jordan.
It'd be Jordan in any era.
Yeah. And Wilt will be in the conversation.
Wilt's not my top 10, but for sure.
He's going to score at will. And don't forget, he led the league in assists one year. Like, he can pass too. I think people and he was athletic. In this NBA, he'd actually be good.
He's a better passer than Jokic.
But he said, no, he's not. Please stop.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Could be. They didn't ask him to do it.
So the year he led the league in assists, I think he averaged almost 9 assists that year, and then the year before that he averaged almost 8 assists.
Why do we say he led? Wilt Chamberlain's the only person I've heard who gets told they led in a category when he led in the total, not
total assists. I always say, yeah, he had the most total assists.
I don't know why we do that with Wilt so much, but
because they try to just beg him up for no reason. But yeah,
no, because
Jokic
it's impressive for center to do that.
Yeah, Jokic has been doing that. Jokic's been essentially doing that for the past 3 years.
Hold on, wait. Jokic led the league in total assists. When?
Never, not one time. Never.
I get
never.
That.
Yeah,
but one time.
He didn't do it.
Never.
I guess. But
no one said
Jokic
led the league in scoring last year. No one says that, but he led the league in total points. And I don't know why we're doing this total thing.
And also, how many actual assists did he have?
There's like 8.8 per game.
No, total. I
think he was. It's not like he was terrible. He was second per game, I think, in assists.
Mm-hmm. Right. 702 assists. Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, I think he was 1,900 points, almost 2,000 points, almost 2,000 rebounds that year too. Like, please don't talk to me about Chamberlain. Okay, I'm not doing the Chamberlain thing.
When you make up a person and you make up his numbers, they're going to be impressive, guys.
Don't do the numbers with Chamberlain because it's not even close.
Jokic will pass that this year. He should pass that this year. So all right.
Like you guys are bringing up someone leading the playoffs in rebounds. Like they didn't even count it when Wilt was doing it. Duncan wouldn't have had that record.
You mean blocks?
Oh, blocks. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, thank you.
And defensive rebounds neither. They didn't count those.
Yeah, it was just all rebounding.
That's it.
Yo, Marz, Brent got a question for you. He said, Marz, if AI wasn't smart for taking so many shots and missing, was Nash dumber for not taking more shots despite making them?
I don't think anytime I've watched Steve Nash, I thought they were struggling because of a lack of aggression. Steve Nash always seemed to know when to dial up the scoring aggression and the passing aggression. I think he's one of the best at doing that. Mm-hmm. But that's just my honest opinion. But I don't think Steve Nash would have had elite efficiency if he started taking 23 shots a game. That's just not his game. But he knew when to dial up the aggression and he knew when to turn it back.
But to be fair, Nash has openly admitted that. Looking back,
he probably should have, but he's also new in moments when
Nash is overrated.
When
that's another overrated player.
Nash is overrated.
Just completely overrated.
I don't even know anyone who rates him. Besides
everybody does.
The second best shooter of all time, and other than that, but I don't know anyone else.
We done got through them now. We done got through these super chats.
Good job.
My dog SSJ Gabe said, what the fuck is LeBron supposed to do when D-Hand puts 5 guards on the court at
that was crazy.
He's supposed to play center and find a way to win. That's what GOATs do.
I ain't gonna lie, that lineup was crazy.
That's why they got out. That's why they got outscored by 30 in the third quarter.
That lineup was outrageous. So I was like,
he needs to score 60 then. That's you got.
Unbelievable. That's why they got outscored by 30 in the third quarter.
Gabe also said in Sacktown is nice. Gabe also said in Sacktown is nice this year. Bobby got me on the Kings.
Hey,
I have enjoyed watching the Kings.
Big action.
That's why Jeannie Buss needs to lose her job because there's no way you
can't lose her job.
Season. I mean, but you know what I'm saying. She should sell. There's no way you go into a season with that many guards and the backup is Thomas Bryant. Like, what are we doing right now, bro?
Listen, what team just got sold? Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah.
For how many? How much? $4 billion.
Yeah.
That means the Lakers are worth at least 10. Sell the team and move on. Because you can't be the owner of the Lakers. You can't be the owner of the Lakers and have your top player have a net worth higher than yours. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Just sell the
wow.
team, take your $10 billion, and go on. The fact that LeBron James has a higher net worth than Jenny Buss is ridiculous. Sorry,
Jenny Buss need to get out that front office and come spend some time with me.
There you go.
Okay.
Mary's comedian. Comedian, dude.
So I'm funny.
Wait. Can you put that Chris Paul one up? That Chris Paul true point guard. I will be making a video about true point guards. I'm tired of that myth. That myth will get debunked this week.
Wait, can you tell me what the myth is, though, before your video?
There's no such thing as a true point guard. I don't understand why that position.
When they say true, they mean traditional. They mean traditional. And there is such a thing as a traditional point guard.
Lo, you trying to sell me that there's no traditional point guard ever in NBA history? So what exactly is the primary ball handler's job? Tell us here on this
to win ball games.
Actually, it's not because the
tradition. It is.
I'm not going to be.
There is a traditional point guard. The traditional point guard. So when people started playing basketball in the 70s and 80s, they said a point guard brings the ball up the court, initiates the offense, and facilitates for others.
People started playing basketball in the late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah,
just so you know,
why y'all deciding to start in the 70s?
Point guard. The reason why he was the point guard.
When I started,
let me make sure I'm understanding. The point guard. The reason why he played point guard because he couldn't shoot as well as the two guard. The two guard played the two guard because he couldn't handle it as well as the point guard. That's why. So the traditional point guard, the traditional point guard logic. For you to say that it doesn't exist, that means that Magic doesn't exist. That means that Stockton doesn't. That means that Stockton doesn't.
Jerry West wasn't a traditional point guard.
He was not. Jerry West was a combo guard.
How can that not be a traditional point guard if he came before the players that y'all are talking about right now? He came before them.
Because the two things are mutually exclusive, bro. You can have a definition for a traditional point guard does this, and then you have people who just don't do that.
You bring up the traditional point guard is Bob Cousy. That's what they related to, Bob Cousy.
Yes, but there were also players
just like Lo, a traditional center plays with his back to the basket.
We don't say that though. Nobody says traditional center though. Nobody says traditional power
forward. Everybody talks about the traditional five man. Let me ask you a question. Who do we compare Embiid to?
Hakeem.
And what is Hakeem?
Hakeem, yes.
And what is Hakeem?
Hakeem is a center.
No, he's a traditional five man. He plays with his back to the basket. That's what we compare him to.
So with that being
said, we don't
block shots.
So let me ask the question: what is a traditional shooting guard then?
A traditional shooting guard.
That's my point. They don't say that. People don't. I never heard that one before. I don't hear it for many positions. I don't. I hear it for point guards and I hear it for centers.
When we talk about the true position or the traditional, we absolutely one for every position. There's the traditional what the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 man does.
And the reason why we have the traditional point guard and the traditional center because that's where the game was. It was built around the 1 and around the 5 man. The 2 guard, again, that's the dude who couldn't shoot it. Who couldn't handle it as well as the point guard. He couldn't handle it as well as the point guard. And then it got raised where he could handle it, but he could still shoot it, and he stayed at the 2 guard. And then he got better.
Traditionally, 3 was a slasher.
Right. And then
Go.
And then when by this low, I'm baffled. Actually,
no, wait, I want that kid to explain because
and then when we move forward, when we get to the 70s and we get to the 80s, the skill set improved. But we still had the traditional point guard who handled the basketball because the 2 guard still shot the basketball more. That was his job. And then we had.
And if I may, sorry. If I may, part of this was done because when you started to look at players, and I'm talking before NBA, and you looked at their skill sets, you had to put them into a position where they would start from, right? If you saw someone who wasn't necessarily that skilled, but they were big and strong and did the dirty work, they typically were put as your 4. That was your traditional power forward. Now, as their skill sets developed and stuff, you moved them into different things and made them do more stuff, sure. But that's why you had those traditional things. It was how you taught the game. If you were a good ball handler, you were a point guard. If you were tall and with your back to the basket, you were a center. That's what you did. And then it grew from that. But you have to have those defined roles to grow from. You can't just go willy-nilly from nowhere. You have to start somewhere. And that's where you start from.
So what is Bird? He's not a slasher. You see, he's a slasher. You think Bird's a slasher?
He's a small forward.
He's a small forward.
But he said the traditional way of a small forward is to be a slasher.
Right.
A slasher, yeah, and then it turned into a Swiss Army knife that does everything.
Wait a minute.
Hold.
To answer your question, for me, a small forward is the most versatile position. That's
small forward is the most
and to answer your question, Lo, yes, Bird was a slasher. He just was a less athletic slasher than Elgin Baylor. Yes, but he was still a slasher.
If you watch Bird, you see him slash to the basket slowly and pass.
Why are we fighting that? Because
Curry also handles the balls and facilitates, but you know what he predominantly does.
Bird
was not a predominantly slasher. That's not how you would identify. He was a post player predominantly.
Joe, no, he was not a post player. No, McHale and Paris were predominantly the post players.
He was not.
Larry Bird played on the perimeter. What are you talking about, Lo?
He started in the perimeter.
Are you serious right now?
He started on the perimeter.
He played on the perimeter.
He started his career on the perimeter as a power forward.
Yeah, if you look at their offensive, if you look at the Celtics' offensive sets, Parrish started down low. Kevin McHale was in the high post, and Bird was on the perimeter.
Even in college, when he was in college,
give it up,
when he started his career as a power forward, it's crazy. When he started his career as a power forward, he was on the perimeter.
He played on the perimeter. When he played in college, he played on the perimeter. At the 3.
When he started his career as a power forward in Celtics, he was on the perimeter.
When he played in college, he played the 3. That was on the perimeter. He did not start his career as a power forward. So let's dead that logic.
Who was the starting power forward for the Celtics in 1980 then?
Who was the starting power forward for the Celtics? If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Cedric Maxwell.
In the 80s?
No, I'm sorry. That's not true. It was what you call it.
In the 80s.
I'm sorry.
No, 1980. In 1980.
Right. His rookie year, I don't think it was Bird started. I don't think he started at the 4, though. I think he started if he did start at the 4, he got
No.
Okay, if he did start at the 4, then he got moved to the 3.
ML Carr was the small forward that in his rookie year, and then he moves out. And then
Bird moved, and when they get
before. They did start him at the 4. When Cedric Maxwell gets moved up, and then Kevin McHale turns into who he turns into. McHale becomes the 4, and Bird moves to the 3. That's the way that works.
So what I'm asking is, when Bird was a 4, when he was a power forward, he was on the perimeter. Is that what y'all telling me?
He played both.
Bird played on the perimeter. Absolutely. He did not play primarily on the box. No, he did not.
So then I would ask, is that what power forward?
If you're asking, is Bird a traditional small forward or
power forward?
No, he was not a traditional power forward. No, he was not.
Okay.
In the years he played power forward, he was not a traditional power forward.
Where did he play most of his career? He played most of his career at the 3. He played it in college and he played it in the pros.
But the point I'm making, though, is that when it comes to other positions, we don't do that. Like when we talk about Bird, especially in the beginning stage of his career, no one is not making another category to rank him as a player. They just put him as a power forward. When it comes to Jerry,
Bird is a small forward.
That's what they put him
I'll say in the beginning of his career. When it came to Jerry West, he was just out there handling the ball, initiating the offense. Even though he led that team, or maybe not led it, him and Elgin Baylor were the 2 top scorers on that team.
Elgin Baylor led the team in field goal attempts, and West led the team in assists. He was the primary ball handler. Jerry West was.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't traditional point guards. Just because these people that you're naming weren't traditional, like it's like is LeBron a traditional anything?
Like
does everything.
But that's my point.
You have your exceptions. Here's
the way you got to look at it, Lo. Here's how you got to look at it. If you're explaining it to a 10-year-old, and since I coach a 10-year-old team, I can tell you, and you're explaining this is what a point guard does, this is what a shooting guard does, this is what a small forward does, you have to say something. And what you do is you revert to what those traditional roles are. Now, you're going to grow. Again, you're going to grow from there, but there are traditional things that they do, and that's how you start it, and you go from there. So there are traditional versions of every position, but you're right, not everybody plays them traditionally, nor should they, especially today. No one plays a traditional role, which is great. That's why the NBA is so phenomenal to watch right now. You got centers playing point, you got point guards posting up. It's beautiful.
In 1961, Elgin Baylor led that team in assists. So somehow, some
1 year?
So for that 1 year, was he the point guard?
Is leading the team in assists make you the point guard?
I was going Draymond Green was the point guard of the Warriors.
That's what I hear as well.
And I also hear that Steph Curry is the point guard. That's what I heard. Right. So
yeah, because Steph Curry is the point guard.
I'm still making a video because nothing is convincing me right now. I just want to be known that
you just don't want to admit it.
There's nothing. There's
wait
nothing.
till y'all finish the action. So when you hear traditional point guard, what do you think of?
I think people being lied to for like 30 years. Because
I just explain that. Hold on, Chill. Because I really, like,
I'm listening.
I don't know if I'll see a video. Please send it to me, or whatever. But I really want to understand this landscape. So what lied to how?
Because if the argument is a traditional point guard is supposed to be the guy who initiates offense, set it up, who's not a volume scorer, he just kind of sets the table for everybody. Is that a role in which they can handle? Yes. But the reality is when you go throughout NBA history, the first great point guards in the league, they were volume scorers. That is a fact.
No, Bob Cousy was a volume scorer.
That's the only one. Jerry West was a Jerry West. You're going back. Stop going to 80s. Start in the 60s and 70s, where the basketball started. Start in the 60s, 50s, and 60s.
No, but that's not when
jumping
basketball
all the way
started.
to 80s.
That's not when basketball started.
Hold on.
That's what started in the 80s. It started in the 80s.
No, but I'm saying throughout the years we've seen traditional roles that were started when James Naismith set up the damn game. You want to go back to then? You want me to give you some of those things?
I could go down eras. Isaiah Thomas is a traditional point guard, and he was a volume scorer.
Why? But what about the other players before them? That's what
I'm asking. I don't know stats with Bob Cousy. I would think he looked like
Bob Cousy averaged like 18 a game, something like that.
But who were the other guards of that era, though?
Hal Greer,
Lenny Wilkins.
Would you consider Hal Greer a traditional
point guard? Yeah, because his job was to get the ball to Chamberlain. That was his job as a lead guard.
So low, I'm confused.
And if I'm not mistaken, Hal Greer actually was not the point guard. He was the two guard, if I'm not mistaken, on that team.
Let me ask you a question, Low.
I got to double check, but I'm almost 100%.
That's a traditional point guard. So why do they think like they say point guards? Why is it a statement? Many people say it. Everybody up here heard it. Point guards of the 90s can't play in this era. It's never based on
I believe
talent.
they can. I don't know what you get.
To answer your question, in 1955, the point guard for the Warriors was Jack George, who led their team in assists, and his job was to put the ball into Wilt. Yes, he was a traditional point guard.
Like it's a real thing.
But 55, Hal Greer wasn't in the league at that time.
Point guard.
I'm going back further because you want more.
Now you're more fluent.
Oh wow. 55, Wilt wasn't in the league either.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. Wilt came in the league in 59.
He said in the chat, Clyde Frazier.
I think I want to even. Why am I back? Guy Rogers, I think that's his name. Guy Rogers was the. I think he.
You want me to go? You want me to go
remember correctly? So,
Ron,
I gotta go. B. Unfortunately,
y'all will see my video. You will see the video.
I gotta get moving, Ron. Unfortunately, I want to keep this rolling, but I gotta go.
No, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Hello. Thursday at 9. Come on, Fluent and Chill. We'll teach you about traditional positions.
The video will probably be out by then.
Perfect. We can debunk it.
Yeah.
All right, so appreciate everybody for tapping in. Like the video if you haven't. Yo, Dale, you got something to say on the way out?
KD top one, man.
I haven't heard it in a while.
I just heard it. You made my face all nice and cute. You know what I'm saying?
Put my boy in the tight zone.
You know what I'm saying? Just keep. You know what I'm saying? My energy gonna always going to be the same. Nets versus Warriors in the chip. Warriors winning it. That's how I'm gonna go, and that's how I'm gonna leave it. Love y'all.
Be easy.
Low, I loved you today.
Be easy. Be easy. Take it light, but take it.
Oh man.
All right, y'all. Same time next week. You know the drill.